Hello, adventurers, and welcome to Grognard and Friends, where friends gather to explore and experience the world of the Aria through Dungeons and Dragons. And speaking of the friends, let's check out this week's episode of Grognard and Friends. When last we left the friends, they had finally gotten the band back together and shared each of their very unique adventures as they sought to get rid of their mutual exhaustion, hunger, filth, and thirst. You spent the day talking to each other, finally decided that you were all so tired that you went to bed. It is morning. Gaius, give me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh my.
And because you have one level of exhaustion on you, do it with disadvantage, please.
12.
Okay. Same thing, Reed, please. Okay.
That's not good.
So it's minus 3, or is it 2? It's minus 2, so you're actually at 10, Gaius. And he's a 3. Okay,
Yeah.
Butt trumpet, same thing, please.
Saving throw?
Yes, please. Okay, so 7. Alright. Oh, and I did Nikita's. Nope. Okay. Reed, not Reed.
Even in her absence.
Good point.
The rolls still come.
Gaius, you wake up. You're feeling okay. You feel refreshed. You feel like you've probably gotten rid of that last level of exhaustion now that you've had a good night's sleep.
Yes. Nothing like a good 8 to 12 drinks to just help you sleep through the night. It keeps the screaming at bay.
What do you do?
Now that I'm awake, squint and look around to see where that bunny is in the room.
He's on the far end of your bed, sitting there looking at you.
You haven't murdered me.
It doesn't
Cool for
fit in your
now.
mouth anymore.
True. Yeah, you just rip my jugular out with his teeth, probably. It's like, you did good, bunny. I'll bring up something later. And I get dressed and I head on downstairs.
Okay. So you head downstairs. It is surprisingly busy down there.
New faces or just
Just
there's a really good
usually
special
when
going on?
people are eating and drinking.
Brunch.
All right. Yeah. Yeah. You guys have endless mimosas this morning? What's going on? Because if that's the case, I will take that.
Betty looks from behind the bar and says, "What's a mimosa?"
Oh my god. Oh my Bacchus. All right, hold on. Do you have sparkling wine here? Because I got to show you
No,
something.
we only have
Also-
like one wine in the back that no one orders.
Oh, good.
Can we substitute
It's not
whiskey
a
for
s-
it?
You know what? Let me shop that around. But the short end is basically there's like a sparkling wine mixed with a juice. Usually orange juice is the preferred, and it just is a nice, refreshing alcoholic beverage first thing in the morning.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, you know what? Do you guys have do you have tomato juice around here? Because I can show you another morning drink that is great for hangovers.
Well, I'll tell you what. We're a little busy at the moment, but why don't you check out with me tomorrow morning? Then we can talk morning drinks.
Oh, okay. And then guys just sits down at a. Is there an open table, Paul? Is it too busy for that?
You can sit at the bar.
Yeah, I'll sit at the bar, order some food, and standard
Okay.
breakfast, whatever stuff.
Betty comes over and says, "What are you drinking?" The usual.
Usual, yeah, just usual all
Okay.
around. Make it easy.
Okay. She comes back with a tumbler of whiskey and an ale, and says, "Okay, our lunch
Ugh.
specials today are,
Oh shit, lunch?
yeah,
Oh man, I slept in way late. Oh my god, did I miss a? Did a guy come in looking for us again?
a boy did, and when I
Oh,
said you weren't here, he left."
okay. If they send anything and I guess I'll make sure I leave a note to say we're upstairs, or maybe they could leave a note. Did they leave a note?
No, the boy just said he said, "Can you show me who the group that's led by the tall mage is?"
The tall me. Oh, that's right. They think he whatever. Um, yeah. So I guess if he shows up, are you working morning tomorrow? Yes, you are. You just said
Probably,
that.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you could, I don't want to inconvenience. In case we sleep in accidentally again, just come upstairs and maybe knock for us to see if we're here. I know
Okay,
sometimes we are out and about doing stuff, but
if it's not
maybe I'll leave a
busy and I
note.
don't, if it's
Mhm.
not busy and I there aren't any shady people in here, I can probably do my best.
Oh, you know what? And guys, we'll just pen a note. It's like, well, if the kid comes back and we're not down here and you're too busy, you can have him. And I just say, come up and knock on door. If not there, please leave. Um, please leave a note. We will be checking back constantly, doing stuff for the guard.
Okay.
Maybe. Well, not the maybe part. That in my head, I'm definitely, yeah, it's good enough. I just
Okay.
slide the notes. Just pass it along in case somebody else asks.
Yeah, I'll just put it
Basically
back
give them
here and
permission to come up and knock. Yep.
you got it.
Oh, I appreciate all everything he does. How's Butterbeer doing?
He seems to be
You
doing
feeling
much
better?
better. Yeah, he had a rough
Oh,
time there for a
excellent.
while. I'm not exactly sure what was going on. I get a little concerned about him sometimes.
It's like I guess maybe he was a little overworked. Sometimes people just they get a little shook up and they need to take some people just need to take vacations every so often. Help reset themselves.
I don't know that he's ever done that, but
Exactly. And so maybe that's kind of like his brain. You just like he needed time, but instead of doing it, he kind of burnt out a little bit. But he's coming back, so maybe I should recommend a vacation or something to him.
yeah, lots of luck with that.
Hmm.
I think
I
Mrs.
know, I
Wiggins and
know.
I have been suggesting that for a while. Saying that we could probably handle it. Uh,
Uh,
but
I'll try to talk. I'm friendly with him, but we'll see. It's for his own health, really.
yeah,
If not, maybe a potion or something. I don't know.
he wasn't real thrilled that Seamus quit only after like not even a week.
Uh, that's Seamus jerk. Something was shady with him. Better off he left, in my
Yeah,
opinion.
yeah. Well, that kind of put him off on hiring new people that he doesn't know. So
Mm,
the chance of him
mm.
taking time off is even less.
I hate to hear that. Well, all
Yeah.
right. I'm gonna. Oh, don't let me distract you. You look way too
Okay.
busy.
Did you want the special?
Oh yeah. Yep. Whatever's
Okay.
easiest for you, that'll do.
I'll put it in for you. Reed,
Yes.
you wake up to your bunny nuzzling your ear and kind of cleaning your hair for you.
Awesome. I just kind of put my head on him and use him as a pillow.
It just kind of curls up in the crook of your neck and just kind of seems to relax and nuzzle into you.
Am I
Chewing the
am I
bit of
like
garbage out of his
exhausted?
hair.
What was
Yeah.
that, Reed?
Am I exhausted or am I
No, you
rested a
are
bit?
you are better now.
Okay. Um I kind of sit up, look over. Is guys? Am I in my room?
You are in your room.
Is guys here?
No, he is not.
Early to
All right.
rise.
Hmm.
Late to bed, early to rise, like any normal person.
All right. Well, I guess I will quickly get dressed and Go see if Gaius is downstairs.
Okie dokie. You quickly put on some clothes, head downstairs. It's incredibly busy.
Ooh.
You see Gaius sitting at a bar, and there happens to be a bar stool open next to him.
Oh, very
Reed,
good.
come, sit, eat, drink,
Hey.
be merry.
Mm,
Also,
I like that.
as he sits down next to me, I'm like, also, you have a bunch of garbage kind of bits. It looks like old food mostly. Did the rabbit start chewing on your hair? Because it looks a little bit shorter on one side.
Yeah. I think he was
Okay,
eating
just,
stuff out of my hair. Yeah.
It's good. That's good. Well, there was a lot of it in there, and there's less now. So,
Yeah.
whatever. Just there's a bunch of conveniently placed rain barrels all throughout the city. Just use those to wash up.
Okay.
At
That
the
sounds
very
good.
least.
Okay.
Betty comes
I-
over and says, "Hi, Mr. Reed. How are you
Hello.
today? Can I get you the usual to start the day off?"
Bacon? Sure.
And how about to drink?
I'll take like a juice or something.
Okay. Coming right up.
Guys just turns and looks like, what? Puts his hand on his forehead like, you have a fever? Are you all right?
I feel like I should not drink for just like a few hours at least.
You know what? I can understand that. Occasionally I get crazy ideas too.
Okay. Betty comes over with a small little tumbler of a pinkish juice. Biggles fruit juice will do the trick for you if you're not feeling up to snuff.
Okay.
Pickles fruit.
And I put the order
That'll
in
make
for
a
your
great mimosa.
bacon. Meanwhile,
Awesome,
on the
thank you.
second floor, Butt Trumpet, you wake up
Yo!
to loud snoring in the bed opposite you that just is like rattling the window panes on your room.
Oh boy. Okay, well, someone needs to sleep the day off. I'm gonna let Nikita finish sleeping, change back into my purple dragon onesie, and
Okay.
scoot my way down the stairs.
Okay. You get changed into your dragon onesie looking all smart and sharp and adventurer like. You head outside your door and start heading towards the steps, prepared to tackle the event that it usually is of going down the stairs when you hear a door open behind you. It is Eldred, looking a little worse for wear, but standing there going, "Oh, hello, little butt trumpet. How are you?"
Hi, big tall Eldred. I'm doing all right. You feel a little better?
I've got a touch of a headache, but I'm sure that's nothing that something will take care of. Would you like a hand cut going downstairs with me? And together we'll get some breakfast?
Slowly and tentatively, I make the uppy arms.
Okay. You see Eldred smile, bend down, and pick you up and kind of hold you in the crook of one arm, kind of like the way you've seen some mothers carry their infants in the street.
Yay!
And Eldred then brings you down the steps. The rest of you see Eldred and Butt Trumpet come down the steps and into the room. Eldred seems a little surprised at how busy it is. And then finally sees the two of you at the bar, just as a couple of seats around the corner are opening up.
Oh, I see a table. We should go get it.
All right. Betty, we're moving.
Okay. And it happens to be your usual table, as a matter of fact. In the
Excellent.
corner.
Carve our names in the table or something.
So
It's so busy in here. Everybody must have heard about the bacon. It's really good.
Yeah, it could be that. Oh, hey, also, do you mind if I grab a piece or three?
Sure. Of
All
course.
right.
Go ahead.
At which point, guys takes out like a handkerchief and like lays it down on the table, takes the 3 pieces of bacon, lays on it, rolls it up, and then just sticks it in a pocket.
Pocket bacon. I get it.
Yeah, I'm just trying not to grease myself up like you do.
It
Which, by
helps
the
to get
way,
you through bars.
It does.
Eldridge says, "Well,
Well,
then that'll be useful because we happen to be sitting in one."
Ugh.
What?
By the way, Reed, did you get a haircut?
I think the bunny was gnawing on my hair.
Good luck for
I'm
you.
gonna put
Asymmetrical,
I'm
that's cool.
put my scarf on soon.
Well, I see all those mage kids with their shaved head and this hair swooped to the side. Thought it looked dumb, but it looks good in you, Reed. Looks good in you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I could get like a wizard haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, you know what, Eldred? You should get that haircut too. I'll grab the bunny.
Just pull on
Yeah.
the tail and it makes a buzzing noise as it's chattering its teeth.
Oh, I'm almost certain it is somewhat sentient. Don't you remember you said you kind of interacted with one? Beat a trumpet?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, but
Understands
this
language.
is a special domestic bunny. The
I
ones
don't
I
think
came
so.
across were so feral, just beyond the levels of feral.
Yeah, but I get a strike that the magic bunny might be able to understand a little bit what's going on.
I think he
Say.
understands me. Yeah.
I have a certain amount of animal handling skill in the past. I wouldn't say I'm proficient, but I do a decent thing. I mean, plus I've hunted for food and stuff when I was younger and whatnot.
That
No,
seems
bunnies don't get that big
contradictory
read. To what?
Well, being proficient with animal handling and hunting for food.
Oh yeah, well I'm good with horses and whatnot. It's just I'm good with. Weirdly enough, I'm good with wildlife. I don't know what that'll tell you. Oddly, they trust me for some reason.
Okay. Betty comes over and brings your bacon. Reed brings a what looks like a stew for you, Gaius,
Oh,
and says, little butt trumpet and Master Eldred. What can I get you?
Well, I have sort of a different request than usual, and if it's not doable, do not feel obligated. But would it be possible to have some coffee, but on ice?
I
Ooh.
think, yeah, that we could probably do that.
I'd like to give that a shot, please.
Okay. I'll see if we can manage that for you.
I'd like another
Eldred?
Biggles fruit juice, please, too.
Okay. I'll get you a double. How about that?
That'd be great. Thank you.
Okay. Eldridge says, I'll take a double too, but not of juice. Okay. She nods and says, okay. And he goes, I'll have whatever Gaius is having.
yeah, usual.
And little butt
Eldred
trumpet.
will die by the end of this
He
campaign.
can. He may have to get on a particular wagon by the end of it. Maybe.
One session is his intervention.
I'll have to
Listen,
get on
we
a
all
wagon
care for you,
because I
Eldred.
won't be able to keep up with my stumbling. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, sure. Whatever. Whatever justifications.
Turns to Betty and says, "What's your last name, Betty?" Betty looks at him and says, "Ford." Oh, well, that seems strangely comforting. I'm gonna go and get your food. Before Betty goes, says, a little butt trump. Is there anything you would like?
Oh, maybe just some eggs and potatoes?
Coming right up. Eldred says, what's the plan for today? After
Well,
breakfast.
seeing as once again we missed the messenger for the
What?
Baron, which, by the way, yeah, apparently they think you're the leader, so I'm sure this is all just going to be tossed on your head at the end, which is fantastic.
What?
Yeah, okay. They sent a messenger this morning looking for us. Well, you and us. And obviously they didn't direct us to the unconscious people upstairs to respond. Don't worry, I left a note in case we're unconscious again. Depending, or if we're gone, we're helping out with the guard. Leave info so we can know where to go, kind of thing. Yeah, because it is lunchtime. FYI, this is not the breakfast crowd. Yeah. Hey, did you know you drank a lot last night? I don't know if you realized that. When you mix it with not sleeping, you sleep longer.
Oh. Last thing
Yeah,
I remember,
so
we were waiting in a bar, waiting to go bail them out. I take it we did that?
No. Ironically, we drank for about a day straight. And
Well,
they
that's like a
got
record.
released. Yeah, it was impressive. It reminded me of my 20s.
Yesterday for me.
They got released on special double probation or something to help out to do a thing. But Trumpet, you could probably elaborate a little bit more on what you and Nikita
Dean
did the
Warmer,
other day,
obviously.
Oh yes, that jerk. all we want to do is drill holes into shower stalls to look at people in the nude and drink too much and cause havoc and definitely murder horses. Animal House. Actually, their protagonists are horrible people. This is Chris. It's
Eldred
the 80s
looks
were
to
really
you,
fucked
Butt
up
Trumpet, and
movies.
said, I had never said anything about any horses. I'm certainly not bringing any horses into this conversation. That's obviously a cleric thing.
Sorry, I think some greater being than me spoke through me for a second. Something about the 80s.
Here we
I don't
go.
even know
the
what
visions
80s.
and the God speaking through him and give him a little bit of
God.
alcohol until he gets all religious on us.
The Flisions.
Of course. How else are you supposed to do it? There's a different way to do it? I don't want to hear about it. Anyway, Butt
Eldred
Trumpet,
says, like I
explain-
said, I'm not bringing any horses into this conversation. Butt Trumpet, you were going to say something.
I miss my horse.
Told you.
So we were all let out to be sort of asked to do a job for Captain Indigari?
Indiegogo, I think you said?
Gary, Indiana? I don't know. But thank you. Anyway, we were Reed went back to sleep off being exploded, and Nikita and I went, me still pretending to be a doll, and we went into the eastern districts, I believe, the splatter fields, and I non-verbally...
Eldred says, wait a minute. I slept through going through Splatterfields and the Eastern Districts?
Well, you drank through it.
We were at a bar the entire time this was happening.
Oh.
In hindsight, we should have had seats at the window.
I'm sorry,
and got
little
up
one. Go
sooner.
on. This has gotten interesting all of a sudden.
Oh, yeah. I was able to non-verbally communicate and potentially form an alliance with what appeared to be a congregation of the bunnies that I created.
What?
Yeah, that's the first half of what happened. So strap
Wow.
in. Um, so I walked into what can only be described as like a bunny church. All these bunnies of different sizes and shapes and expressiveness were all just chilling. And I just wanted to see if they could understand me, if they could communicate with me since they get out of my person. And one of them was very buff and stern and red and everything. And I bowed and, expressed a desire to be friendly. And then out of the ground, an even bigger bunny who we named Bunny Kong with giant saber teeth. The part that was sticking out of the ground was about the size of a keg. I
Wow.
left it an offering of bacon that was left in my pack. Thank you, Reed.
Welcome.
I offered a bow in reverence, and I'm pretty sure that saved our lives for that. And after which I backed away slowly, not pushing my luck. Nikita and I made our way into the splatter fields, found the general store where we were meant to find this informant that had not gotten back to the captain in a while. We
Okay.
come upon his bloody corpse that had been there for some time, a message above the bed that says,
Oh.
guards go home or you're next, using the wrong "your." I used stomach bile to correct that. Upon getting needed from said informant, we hear loud stompy noises, and Nikita spots out the window as we are hiding a troll, I believe, and a giant, fleshy, tall character that some creature with claws on its hands and feet. His parts mismatched. He's all roary and scary and everything. We evade its glance and we waited out, and now we're back.
Wow. That was a lot better
Yeah,
than my
Reed,
trip
I just
back to the
realized
inn.
you haven't been caught up on this.
This is actually really good we brought this up.
Eldred says, a Thursday then.
Pretty much, yeah.
I was coming back to
Wow.
the inn and I found one of your bunnies, but it wasn't that big and it wasn't like in a church. But I chased it and it went down this alley. And then when I went down the alley, there was a dog, and I think the bunny was gonna attack the dog. I'm not sure, but I kind of interrupted their. They were like hissing and growling at each other, and then the bunny
Wait a
took
minute.
off.
Reed, Eldred interrupts. Did you say hissing and growling or kissing and growling?
Hissing.
Oh, okay.
Hissing. Yeah, they didn't like each other. But strangely enough, the dog was kind of afraid of the bunny. I don't know what was going on there. So I kind of chased the bunny down some more alleyways, and then I was just totally lost. And the bunny ran under a fence, and I didn't want to go over the fence, so I tried to find my way back to the inn. And I'm not sure really what happened after that. I kind of fell asleep. I was really tired. But
And that's when I found him in the trash.
I was in the that's
Oh, yeah, you definitely... You homeless personed right up.
I was really,
you sure
really,
you weren't
really
drinking
tired.
there, Reed?
No, I was so tired. Jail stinks. I don't like jail.
Yeah, it can be a rough time in jail.
Yeah.
Wouldn't recommend
And it was
visiting.
gross. That one guy splattered on the ceiling and everything. So I
Yeah.
you know
By the way,
wait,
I was
what?
there.
What?
Oh, that's right. You got really messed up. There was some wild. I use the term wild in the sense of like somebody gone wild, magic going on in the jail, because there was definitely a college kid that got smooshed. Like whoa, and the viscera was kind of pungent. Yeah, that's the way I would want to describe pungent. Like there was an odor,
yeah.
and what happened exactly there? Because the people
So
I talked to in the guard assumed it was the college kids, and I kind of hope
Reed,
that it was, but I'm also kind of not thinking it was.
Reed
Why
lowers his
would you think
voice.
that? I was with you, right?
Yeah, bud, you're not the only magic person, though. Remember?
Reed lowers his
Oh.
voice and leans in. So the kids were all, I guess they were in trouble for partying or something, and they were all in those other cells. And then Butt Trumpet did crazy magic and appeared at their cell, and then did you want to tell it, Butt Trumpet?
No. Go ahead. I can barely understand it myself.
I don't understand it either, but then these giant like pillars came out of the ground, and the one kid didn't get out of the way in time, and he got smushed, and then Butt Trumpet like blinked out, and but we managed to get them back into our cell so that they would be hidden, or look. It was so. It would have been great if that one poor guy didn't get smushed.
Yeah, his
But,
friends
yeah.
didn't strike me as the people who cared about him, but that is awful. Also, Butt Trumpet, you teleported apparently, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it was weird. It happened like every time I tried to reach out to you.
So I'm wondering, maybe because you were trying to reach beyond your normal scope of power, that's why things got a little hinky.
Yeah, I'd
Because you
like
hadn't
to
done
go
that.
back a bit.
You hadn't done that spell before, right? That wasn't something you normally do.
Not normally, no. It's a bit above my
Usually,
pay grade.
yeah.
It could have just been
Usually,
you,
like,
Gaius, says Eldred.
Probably not. I am almost certain that I know when I kill a person. Reed can
No. It
testify.
was
He was
just
there the
kind of
last
like
time.
the
blaming
association
me.
of magic with you probably just created bad things to happen.
No, I'm pretty awesome at magic. I like everything I want to do. I do, and it works great.
I think we're going to need a bigger table soon. Keep a lookout.
You
for that,
think
Reed.
so? I don't know
Yeah.
if I don't
Well,
know.
Nikita should be coming, right?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
you know
that's
what we
it.
do?
We'll need
Nikita
it for
might be
Nikita
coming
when
down.
she comes down.
Yes. I mean,
Next time we get in, we'll need one with a higher ceiling, I think, too.
Oh, are you whacking your head on things again?
Sure. Let's go with that. So I was asking,
Anywho.
all this came about from what we're going to do today?
Oh, well, with all the craziness that is apparently
I
happening.
hate to say we went down a rabbit hole.
So with all the nuts, well, mostly we had to make sure you and Reed were all on the same page, because Reed was unconscious and you were inebriated to the point of unconsciousness. So, regardless, this is the logic we made. With all the nut stuff going on, I don't know about you guys, but I'm definitely kind of feeling guilty for those guards maybe potentially disappearing / dying when we pointed that house out to them. Yeah,
Okay.
kind of want to.
Stradivarius house?
Yes, I kind of want to double check on that, just to see how everyone's. Maybe the guard are still there and they could use a hand. Because, granted, this is kind of misplaced guilt, I think, but we kind of should probably check up on that.
I'd like to
Are we allowed
propose
to go
one
back there?
condition.
Okay.
Keep
Butt trumpet
keep
first.
me
One condition.
away. Keep me away from the carpets.
Ah,
Okay. No carpets.
yes.
Gotcha. Reed, your turn.
I just.
What'd you say?
Were we allowed to go back there? I thought the guards told us not to, or something.
I don't
Like,
remember
I
that,
thought
so
that's
it
why
can't
they
be
went
true.
there. Okay.
If they did, I don't remember, so I can't necessarily be breaking. Ignorance is the greatest defense against the law I know of.
Are we? Are we? Still have our papers to carry weapons and whatnot?
I look at them. Paul, are they still up to date? Or are we?
They expired a week ago.
Ooh,
Hey, you know what? We can maybe see if we can get these updated to see and just say we're planning on doing some more investigating, or we just go in and then once we enter the fart cloud, we kind of just don't care.
Yeah, that
Just
seems
saying.
like they don't really
They
have
don't
any guards over
patrol
there.
that
So,
often.
yeah.
I mean, we hold off on we put it or we cross over to the Eastern District and then arm up there, I guess. Yeah, why don't we try that? If we got to, we can just go and get a new seal. I mean, we were the only people who were successfully return a kid and all that.
Mhm.
Which, by the way, we still got to shop around on a name. Damn it.
By the way,
Mm.
I'm going to assume why all these stories have been told and everything. Everyone's food came and you've been eating as you've been sharing stories.
Oh, yeah.
that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah. That is definitely happening.
Yeah.
By the way, is Nikita alive?
Including your iced coffee, butt trumpet.
Ooh. Now, quick. How did that taste? What trumpet?
I found it delightful. You know, I bet this would be even good if there were like flavorings in it and stuff. It could be a whole new drink.
Hey, can I take a sip of that?
I scooted over to him.
Ooh. My, that is not as bitter as coffee normally is.
Right? That's
Yeah.
nice.
Betty, can I try one of these for myself? And also, put a shot of bourbon in there.
Coming right up, she
Do you
says.
have? Oh, do you have cream?
Whiskey? Yeah, we have cream.
Just a dollop of cream mixed in there too, please.
Okay. How about you, little
I
butt trumpet?
think-
One of those?
Actually, that sounds lovely.
Okay.
I have a very sneaking suspicion we have created a great drink.
Eldred goes, sure, why not? I'll take one as well.
Ugh. Anywho, so the plan is we'll investigate this Stradivarnius house to see just kind of what's going on there. Just check in real quick. Hopefully, we find the guardsmen. They're okay. We leave that kind of thing, or we at the very least determine what happened. I think that's the plan. That's kind of what we're going to do today.
Okay.
Maybe we can get some recompense if we, save some guardsmen or return.
Imagine how
With
big of
news.
heroes they will think we are if we save guards.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hmm.
Let's do it.
This will be good. All right. Excellent.
Yes.
So I guess we'll wait for our what kind of coffee is this now? Because it's not Irish. That doesn't exist.
Your
in this
whiskey
world.
macchiatos are on their way.
I think we need to shop that name around a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh, is it
The
Cappuccino?
I was going to say the crappuccino, but okay.
well, I was trying to give a little cred to the Stone's Throw. It's
Oh.
just
Hmm.
because I mean, if this turns out to be a great drink and this is the place that originated it, you want to put your name on that, and I'm okay
That's
with
true.
giving credit to the Stone's Throw. I love this place.
Seriously, they could serve the stars and make a lot of bucks here.
Mm.
Anyway, so we'll
Like-
wait for those
like
drinks
Glorious
and then we'll
Gilderoy.
probably.
And
Oh
as you're
shit!
talking,
Someone.
they come.
Has Nikita come down yet, Paul?
Nope.
Okay, we gotta go make sure. Is she? Hey, butt trumpet. Was Nikita breathing when you left?
Oh, yeah. She was snoring up a storm. I think she's just sleeping everything off.
Okay, good. Say, we'll take another one of these for Nikita and a plate of food for them, and then we'll make sure we'll go up butt trumpet and make sure she is alert and alive and ready for the adventure for the day.
I also
Okay.
pocketed some bacon for our journey. So
Okay. Eldred says
Yes,
if we're just
adventure
checking
bacon.
on the guards, we could always just leave her rest.
Well, we're going over to the east side into the Stradivarnius house. I mean, we could. Well, you know what? I'll ask, and if she feels up to it, she'll come, and if she doesn't, we can leave her here and let her rest.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes, excellent. So I'll go up with butt trumpet if they feel like coming, because technically it's their room, so it's not weird.
I did.
Or I'll go by myself. Don't really care because it's Gaius.
I'm gonna run upstairs and make sure my bunny's got some food. So.
Okay, you look down and butt trumpet's standing by you guys with their hands up.
And yeah, there you go.
Whee!
You want to be a parrot this time?
Yes.
And on the shoulder.
That would be a good look for Butterbeer. He's a pirate.
A pirate.
Not very many cool pirates have a dragon on their shoulder.
This is true.
Yeah. Oh God, are you wearing a dragon onesie again?
You bet your wine bubbly butt.
Was that a compliment or an
I
insult?
panicked. I panicked what that was.
And we're now at their door.
Okay. And butt trumpet, you need to be let down to let the two of you in.
Aw,
Okay.
this was
And
fun.
You open the door.
I'm sure it'll
and
happen again.
Even before the door opens, you hear.
Oh my.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying here?
Yeah. You know what? At this point, Gaius just kind of goes over and puts the plate of food down on the island, on the dresser, looks at the drink, sees that the ice cubes are melting, looks at them, kind of pokes them in the shoulder. Eat it.
Placebe.
Stradivarnius house, yes or no?
It's a
You
house.
out for it today? Yeah.
I guess.
You want to come or no? Yes?
Sure. Yes.
Here.
Then-
This is an amazing drink. You will. It's coffee, but with other stuff.
Okay. I'll meet you downstairs. I'm not in your room, am I?
No. No, I'm in yours. Butt trumpet's here with me, so it's not weird.
Oh.
Yo,
Kinda
Also, you're
looks-
sleeping fully clothed, so this isn't that weird. Also, we slept in the sewer together, technically, so this is actually not weird at all.
Nikita looks
made
under
it
the
weird.
covers
looking
and
at
leaving.
said, and goes, "How did he know that?"
Godly intuition.
Ah. Okay, I'll be down. I'll be as quick as I can.
Excellent. Try the drink first before you eat the food.
And you hear a little bit
A
of
trumpet.
slurping as you're going out the door.
Butt trumpet. You want to stay up here to make sure she actually gets out of bed? I know I lie to sleep as long as possible sometimes. If I'm exhausted.
Okay.
That's just the thing that happens. I don't know. You don't have to stay up here if you don't want to.
One of you
before I head
roll
back-
a
bef-
20-sided die for me, and we'll see what happens.
So, Paul, before I head back downstairs, oh, it's a 2. That's not good.
Okay.
I go back into my room real quick. Then Gaius opens the door. And it's just glaring around like it's a Clint Eastwood movie, just that glare focuses in and just looking for the bunny.
Go. You
Where
feel
you at?
lucky, bunk.
Where you at, bunny?
You
I
don't
know
see
you're
him.
here. Hey. At that point, reaching in my pocket, pull out the handkerchief, uncover the bacon. I'm like, where you at? I
You
made
don't
an
see him.
agreement. Take the bacon out and just place it on the floor in between the beds. I step back and I'm just kind of like standing in the doorway. It's for you.
Okay, well, give me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
It's a stealth bunny.
20 is the disadvantage roll.
Okay. You came into the room and you set the food down and turn around, and you had shut the door behind you almost all the way. And when you turned around, it looked like the bunny was standing like behind where the door had opened and is just looking up at you.
Oh, shit, you're not creepy at all. Hey, there's bacon for you. And I kind of just like open the door wide enough so I could step through and then close it behind me.
Okay, as it's doing it, it starts kind of little hopping towards the food. The whole time, its eyes are right on you. It doesn't there. Its eyes doesn't leave your eyes the whole time, and it watches you leave.
I knew you were smarter than they all think. And I closed the door behind me.
Okay. You head back over to Butt Trumpet's door, where Butt Trumpet's standing, and from inside you can hear.
Well, I figured that might be a thing. I was really hoping the coffee would have helped. I don't think Nikita's coming with us today.
No. And frankly, I'd be terrified to attempt to nudge her out of bed myself. Tiny arms.
Yes, no. You know what we'll do? Guys, pulling out more parchment and pens. Like, I'm going to have to buy more of this shit.
You should really
Nikita
get
went
some
to
that,
shred-
like, you can post. Like, you should get little slips of paper that are easily pocket-sized, and you could, wherever you want to know, you can post on the door.
It sounds like something the rich people up top got. I'm not. I'll just buy large, unwieldy pieces of parchment and rip them into pieces. Nikita went to Stradivarnius' house without you. Sorry.
Neener.
Also, letting the bartender know that if someone is trying to contact us, you are available. They will knock for you. Be back soon, Gaius. Cleric of Bacchus, first of his name. No.
Okay, so
And
you
then
head
just kind of like
downstairs.
leaves it sitting by the food, yeah. And then we scoop Butt Trumpet back up,
Okay.
doing the parrot move again because they seem to enjoy it, and back downstairs.
Okay. And
Nikita
Reed and Eldred are
is-
down there.
Not going to make it. So I guess we can go and everybody's ready to roll.
Okay.
Okay. I should probably go feed the bunny real quick and grab my stuff.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
I already have my stuff in my bag.
Okay.
So you go
Butt Trumpet,
upstairs, Reed?
Eldred.
Yes.
Eldred says absolutely. Okay, so
I'm
you
good.
go into your room, and you see the bunny in the middle of the room eating from a little plate, kind of stuck on the floor with bacon on it.
Oh. I knew it. Gaius likes you. Here, I have a little more for you.
Bunny just kind of looks up at you. Its eyes, its ears kind of shift around, listening to you, and the nose wiggles. And as you put it down there, it just kind of goes back to eating more. And its one little foot goes.
I give it a little pet, and I just say, "Now that you're so big, Gaius can't eat you easy. So this is good."
As you give it a little pet, it kind of nudges its head into the palm of your hand.
All right, and then I will grab grab my armor, grab weapons, and I guess I'm carrying them since we're not supposed to wear them. So.
Okay. You head
And
back down.
I put on a scarf and a hat.
Okay. You head back downstairs then?
Yes. Oh, I got that leather cap. That's right. I put that
Okay.
on.
You've got Gaius, Eldred, and Butt Trumpet down there. Butt Trumpet sitting on Gaius's shoulder. And they're all just standing there.
Perched, if you will.
Perched.
At last.
I'm ready when all of you are.
Okay. Eldred says, I'm ready.
On the road again. Sing a movie, guys. I can't wait to get on the road again.
I'm ready to vast and set sail to the wonders of the. Sorry, I don't know. Don't know what got into me there. It must be the parrot thing going on. Yes, let's go on the road again.
Okay.
Something road again. Something road again.
So you head down to where? Where are you headed?
So usually, like, we went colonnade, then to the bridge to cross over to the east side. Is it quicker just to go to the eastern district?
Probably.
Is there more of a straight line for that? Then we'll do that then.
Okay.
And you know what? Wave down a cart or something to try to get us down there a little bit quicker, seeing as it's
Roll me
later in the day than we anticipate.
Roll me a 20-sider, please.
20-sided.
That might be a really good idea because now that we were in
14.
prison, they
14.
might not give us new papers. I was just thinking of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got the impression that the people at that district don't necessarily. There's not a lot of great communication between the guard. Is the impression I got.
Okay, you start looking for a carriage as you are heading down there. You don't find one right away, but so you start heading in the direction, and you go around a corner, and you do hear the town crier coming through.
Stop and listen.
Okay. Sounds like he's just begun recently. Authorities are advising residents of the eastern districts to remain indoors whenever possible. While the fog has begun to slowly recede, they warn that exposure to the miasmic mist may be detrimental to one's health. Also, the fog has been proven to obstruct vision, which may result in personal injuries and even fatalities and death by misadventure. So once again, authorities warn residents of the eastern districts to please remain indoors and not to venture out. Now, the event that is on everyone's mind is the recent assassination of Lady Codicia this past Saturday in the Library District. This, the most recent explosion, was just one of many explosions that have been ravaging various parts of Seven Rivers in recent months. What makes this one notable is that for the first time in recent memory, the terrorists may have slipped up, as one of them is said to be currently in custody as a result of the botched suicide bomber attempt. It is said that they are currently being sweated out in preparation for questioning by specialists from the Headsman Guild that are being brought in from the south. These headsmen are said to specialize in eliciting information from their subjects. Very little is known about their techniques, but those that have witnessed them have said that they are particularly disturbing and not a pretty sight. In regard to the terrorist himself, very little is known at the moment. What we do know is that the young man involved is being held in an unnamed location, that he is no stranger to the guards, and that his identity has been confirmed by numerous eyewitnesses. Unnamed sources say that he is a key member of numerous terrorist cells within the city, and that he is so important to the insurrection that his brothers and sisters have already made a number of attempts to break him out. One attempt is rumored to have involved an explosion of such force that it almost brought down the entire prison. It is also rumored that a university professor may have some connection to the insurrectionists, as they have been questioned extensively about their connection with the terrorists. People close to the scene are saying that this may be the work of some new religious cult, or that the terrorists are making a statement by their presentation, as it is being said that they identify themselves by affixing pieces of colored glass to their foreheads. Little else is known at this time, but we will share more information as it becomes available. And in possibly related news, the remains of 2 victims of what authorities are calling the most recent in a series of ritual sacrifices have been discovered, this time in an abandoned basement within the Shadow Streets. Little is known of the 2 victims other than that they were unwilling participants, and it appears that they were both university students with a mutual interest in what is being described as strange languages. It is unknown whether the students knew each other or not. This is just another in what appears to be a string of unknown underground sacrificial rituals that have been plaguing Seven Rivers in recent months. More to follow as the information becomes available. The city wishes it to be known that they are now accepting new applications for guard positions. Be the pride of the city while making a good wage. Many openings and duties available. For more details, apply at your local guard barracks. Also, the Colonnade Guard Post wishes it to be known that the job posting board has been renewed and is available for freelancers, mercenaries, and those wishing to try their hand at adventuring. And in related news, residents are banding together and want to know why the Baron is not requesting aid from the capital to handle the ongoing troubles in the eastern districts. And as an example of what can be accomplished with outside help, 2 more of the Eastern District's lost children have been recovered, this time by the Shadow Scourgers, who you may remember helped recover the mantle of St. Rickert last year when it was stolen from the Temple of Myrthos. This is all. Oh yay, oh yay, oh yay. And they continue down the street.
Gaius?
Yeah, Reed.
I think they were talking about me.
Yeah, you are definitely being painted as a terrorist right now. And
I was just trying
those
to help.
headsman guys are fucking wild. Well, obviously the guard wouldn't let you go if they actually thought that. This is just all that.
Why would
nonsense.
he say that then?
Because he got it. They got the info wrong. Also, because they're probably there is probably a lot of pressure to catch whoever's doing the bombings. If they say they have someone in custody, this makes it sound like they're doing something. Even the good news is they let you go and aren't just torturing you, an innocent person, so it looks like they're doing their job better. They're just lying about it.
The narrative changes depending on which town crier you listen to, really.
Yeah,
Really?
I've noticed that there's some that like to sensationalize things. You can tell some are like more pro-government, some less. It's like that guy kind of, he started taking a religious bent on his thing. Because obviously,
Yeah, you
gluing
gotta check in
glass to your forehead.
sometimes.
Yeah, you got to do your own research. Because
Exactly.
But what was interesting is the fact that 2 language students from the university were ritually murdered, and apparently that's not necessarily new. That document we got, Reed, remember those people that were at the Stone's Throw that we got the document of? There was that assassination or something going on there? Or
Yeah.
the theft or whatever that we interrupted? Well,
Right when we got here,
remember,
right?
yeah, remember it was in a... they were talking about scrolls in different languages and something like along those lines.
Oh, yeah.
I'm wondering if those are the same people.
Ah.
I'm wondering if those are the same people. We have no idea who they are or anything, but it's definitely something we gotta be worried about. The good news is, sadly...
2 more children were found.
Well, there's that, yes. Also, what was it? The Shadow, whatever the hell? That was such a lame name.
Shadow Scorchers?
Yes.
Shadow Skeevers.
Yeah, Shadow Skeever, yeah, whatever. Shadow Stupid's bad name. Anyway.
Shadow Shitters.
Yeah, that sounds more accurate.
They
we
sound like
just
bad
You know,
guys.
remind-
that
That's
should
not
be our name.
No.
That's a bad guy name. That's not a hero name.
Yeah, no, we need something like we're a good team. Like we're the number one team, or like an A team or something.
Well, we don't
Um,
want to sound too conceited, says Eldred. Maybe we should call ourselves the number 2.
That also has different
No.
connotations. Nope, no, that has.
Mm-mm.
In case you weren't aware, more north of here, where I'm from, when you say and refer to the number 2, that could also refer to a certain
I know what that means.
scatological event.
Mhm.
Yes, Reed. Well, you're from up there, Reed, so you would know.
Mm-hmm.
But Trumpet might not.
And
Number 2's not.
we've seen way too much poop in this city. We don't need that.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Mhm.
don't want to actually get a name that implies that we would agree to do those kind of jobs.
So the poop seers are out.
Definitely.
Yeah, no.
I don't even know what a
The
seer
The
is.
sewer
But
skewers
it's got poop
is
in it.
also out.
Yep, nope.
Ew.
Gonna just knock that right off the list.
I have a
too.
notepad and I'm
I
just
mean,
crossing off names.
now
Sewer
I
doers?
appreciate now.
Dang it.
Nope. Actually, I love it, and it probably should have an alliteration somewhere, but not those.
Well, if we were the only ones who found a kid, we could be the kid finders. But now they found other kids, so
I don't want to include children in the name
oh, okay.
because that could be skewed weird.
So the child catchers is also out?
Yeah, that's where my mind went to, and I didn't want to actually say it out loud.
Oh,
By the
yeah,
way,
that's
Paul,
why I did.
we're walking and having this conversation.
No problem. Eldred says, so something with predator in the name.
No, I mean, I guess it depends.
That sounds like a
on-
bad thing, though. The hero names.
Well,
You're a good hero.
I mean, if we're no, I can't think of a good way to do work predator into a thing. We still got to, and I think it's sarcasm in some form or another, so they know what they're getting when they do hire us.
I wish if you or Eldred, if one of you knew a spell to turn everybody into halflings, we could be the halfling heroes.
Yeah. Do you know it?
Oh, maybe Butt
I
Trumper
don't
could do
really
it with her magic.
I don't do transmogrification.
How about the hero specials?
Ah.
What?
Well, just doesn't
Wait till
feel
we-
right. You know what I mean?
When we meet up with Nikita, she usually comes up with some good names too.
She comes up with some names. Yes.
She uses lots
You know,
of colorful
all
language.
these ones that had bunnies and bacon to them, I still think that would probably be an encouraging and positive on a group name, make us not very threatening.
Like the bacon
I
buddies.
mean,
I like that.
Bacon
God,
Bravos, I still, am hanging on that.
you know,
Mhm.
we could just be the B team. No,
Oh,
wait, I
that's-
think that might infringe on something. But I mean, you could say it's bourbon, you could say it's bacon, you could say it's bunnies. We just
could
never
spell
tell
it
anybody what the
It's
bees
Butt
mean.
Trumpet.
Yes.
No, fuck bees and that bee guy who took over the temple here. Not bees. Shit. All right, fine. B team's not good.
The bee's knees.
No bees, Eldred. Now you're just doing it on purpose.
The bee's tees.
We could go like a couple letters down and be like the D team, but I don't really know what D would stand for.
And our logo could be a dragon.
Ah, there we go.
Oh,
And
maybe
it
we
could
could
be-
work in dungeons in there because we go underground a lot too. Dragons.
Oh
and-
yeah.
Dragons and
That's
dungeons.
a great idea.
Mm,
Dragons and dungeons. That sounds safe.
yes.
The
Uh-huh.
Dungeon Masters.
Ooh. I don't know if we're masters yet, but I like that name.
Anywho,
I'm gonna write it down as a maybe.
Okay.
yeah, put that as a possible. Are we
It's
there
really
yet, Paul?
tricky, 'cause, 'cause I've been because I've been going in alphabetical order, and D is number 20.
God, Bacchus, are we there yet?
I have to pee. Are we there yet?
Are you still on my shoulder? Quick, they have to pee.
There's an alley nearby if you need to.
That's just convenient. So, do you really need to go, or are you just complaining?
I didn't think it was that bad. Keep it to myself.
If you can, you should save it till we get to the Eastern Districts. Then you could just pee anywhere and they don't care.
Is there not a bathroom in the Stradivarinius house?
I wouldn't trust it.
That's fair.
I just wouldn't trust it. Hey, there's this gaping hole here in this obviously haunted house. Let me hover my nethers over that real quick for a while. No thanks.
Eldred goes, so that's what that door was we found in the kitchen.
I don't know what kitchen hole you're talking about. Could have been a dumb waiter.
The dumb waiters.
No, because
that's
that's so
what you
close to it's so close to dung waiters,
Ooh.
which is also probably a real job and awful.
That sounds too poopy. Yeah, I like
Also
that.
sounds
Again,
like what we were
that's the
doing.
point I'm trying to get across. Yes, and I don't ever want to have to do it again. Is the point?
Okay, so you do find a.
Ooh. Team name Beasts of Bourbon. Is that a thing?
Ooh. That makes us sound fierce. I like that.
Yeah.
And drunk.
Ooh. Hold the last call. That almost sounds like a super villain name.
That actually, I actually kind of like that.
It sounds like
It'd
an
be
inn.
all right for trivia night at the Stone's Throw, but I don't know if it.
Yeah. You are the
Wait,
last
did you
call.
trivia night?
Wait, yeah. What
You
the hell did we
should.
miss trivia night?
That sounds cool.
Granted,
I want to do
I
that.
know nothing about this town, so it'd suck, but
I made a wizard who
There'd
was
be-
good at trivia. His name was Quizzo.
oh,
That's
Quizzo
a
the
good wizard
Magnificent.
name.
Yeah,
Quizzo the Inquisitive.
there you go.
Quizzo the barely
You met him.
qualified.
So you're able to wrangle up a carriage as you
All right.
kind of make it about 4 blocks from the inn.
The driver, just take us to the closest you can get to the bridge to go over to the East District. I understand it's probably not.
I can
Over
get
to
you to
the
the
right
bridge.
there.
That I can do
All
that.
that conversation. All that conversation, we only went 4 blocks.
Well,
Well,
that's because every
you know what?
time one of
We'll
you would stop and go, "I've got an idea."
We can walk and talk at the same time.
Yeah.
No, I've seen your group work. I think they probably stopped and went, "Hey."
Thank God bubblegum doesn't exist in this world.
That we know of.
We haven't, we haven't gone to the rich district enough to see what kind of candies they have.
That could be what fell on top of us in the sewers and almost destroyed us.
Rich
bubblegum
people
monster.
chewing gum. But yeah. Anywho,
Okay, so you make it to the bridge. The driver
Correct.
says, "That'll be a goal for the 4 of you."
yep, there you go. Thank you very
Okay,
much.
Thank you, sir. Have a wonderful day in the Eastern Districts.
Yeah, we'll do our best, but I doubt it's going to be great. But I appreciate the effort.
Okay.
All right.
Everybody talks about it like that. I wonder if all the people in the Eastern District should just come across the bridge and move over here.
Well, I think there might be a financial reason why they don't.
Okay.
Reed, have you not been around poor people?
Oh, I was very poor, but then I was able to steal some stuff. So
Yeah, not everybody's good at that, though.
oh
Yeah,
okay.
just say. Anywho, so we go wandering into the Eastern District, going Following the same path we usually do to go to the Stradivarnian's house.
When we get near the cloud, Reed is gonna put on his armor and all that good stuff. Or maybe I should just do it here once we get over the bridge.
Well, once we're out of sight of guards,
Yeah. Okay.
time to sew. Well, you wear only studded leather, right, Reed?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Hide that under your. Gaius is pulling out his scale mail, which is, granted, not as bulky as the splint. Locking the gauntlets on.
Okay, you
overlapping pieces of metal.
you make it through all the drinking establishments this time of day.
Mm-hmm.
It's you see a bunch of people stumbling around from bar to bar and from some of the distilleries. There seems to be some groups that seem to be going from different distilleries to different ones, and then when you get down to the bend where it's mostly breweries, you find the same thing. The around the breweries, it tends to be mostly just kind of big burly guys grouped together. Some of them are out like in the actual street drinking in groups, because some of the you found a little bit of this in around the distilleries where there are some tables set outside and waitresses and barmaids come out and serve. Seems to be a real festive atmosphere. You get through there, you head as soon as you get towards Death's Door. It's a little more somber, a little quieter. Nothing seems to be going on there. You pass by Death's Door and you've got the road ahead of you, and just as you pass Death's Door, the fog starts kind of creeping into your personal spaces. And the one thing you do notice is before you could see the fog cloud when you came over the bridge, like towering over the buildings. And now you didn't notice that the fog is still there, but it's depleting a little bit. So it kind of goes up to just about the roofs of most of the buildings. You can notice that mostly by the buildings in Crooked Court, which still seem pretty much in shape that you can see in the distance. So you just kind of get a glow of the fog over the tops of those roofs. Otherwise, the fog tends to be about 20 feet high as opposed to a ginormous cloud now. And so you're wandering into the fog, and you're headed down the road. Gaius and somebody else make me a perception check, or Gaius can do it, or somebody can do it with advantage, or whatever you want to do.
I'll help if you want to do it, guys.
All right, so I will do so with advantage.
Yeah, you guys are way more perceptive than me.
26.
Okay.
Like that.
You're headed down
Listen,
the road.
I'm wise, nothing else. Yeah, and strong, and handsome,
And modest.
And
And
magic. Oh yes,
wonderful
humble.
wizard. Yes.
Yes, the most wonderful wizard of all.
You're walking down the street, all of you conferring on how absolutely amazing Gaius is. And you're going past
Our
Splatter.
arms are all linked and we're doing a sort of promenade skipping step. Oh, we're dancing with the wizard, the wonderful wizard of wine.
You'll know
Right
someone's
now.
not arguing here. So you are talking about just how absolutely magnificent and the amazing prowess of Gaius. He threw in that last part himself, but he notices over by the cliff amongst the boulders and like scrub grass and bare trees and possibly dead trees, you're not sure, something moves. Gaius, that's what you notice.
Thing, and I point in that general direction.
Is there any buildings over there?
Oh no, not on the cliff side. On the other side, it's splatter fields, and it's that kind of barren area with the poles sticking up, and at the very beginning, there was a number of that little settlements of those kind of track housing sort of buildings that kind of looked like a whole bunch of shoe boxes that all looked alike, kind of gathered, and then it just kind of went into kind of that wasteland of just waste ground and boulders and divots in the ground with these poles sticking up every periodically throughout the space. There's also ruins of very old buildings here and there, and these kind of what look like mounds of mud and stone and stuff periodically. But I mean, in the fog, you're not really seeing much over there. But guys, you definitely saw like it looked like some sort of humanoid figure moving amongst the by the cliff, like by where a couple of dead trees are in a large boulder. It moved, and
I
then
relay
when
that to
you,
the rest of the party.
okay, it
Yeah.
moved, and like when you looked over, it immediately kind of like seemed to disappear behind the tree and boulder.
Lean
You want me
in
to-
quietly.
You want me to sneak up there?
Just keep your eye out. I don't necessarily want us to get too spread out right here, because if it is something and it can grab you, I don't really feel like. I mean, I've looked for you like 3 different times this week already. I don't want to have to do it again.
Okay.
Just when you, just everyone's aware of it. That way, keep an eye peeled over there.
Okay.
And I guess we try to continue to move on to the strata, or at least that's at least what I'm pitching to the party.
Okay.
I stay in the middle of the party in case anybody's looking for a kid with a gem on his head or whatever.
Like you do.
Okay. Yeah, and Gaius is fully scale mailed out, shield ready, and all that nonsense. in case
Dragon
we
perched on his
play that.
shoulder. Very threatening.
Bright purple dragon.
Yep.
With googly eyes.
With googly eyes, of course. What other sort of dragon would there be?
Perching gargoyle style.
Eldred says, guys, I think it's a girl.
A girl.
Where?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's slowly approach then. Maybe. Paul, was the height like tall, like of an adult, or could have been a child or a halfling dwarf level kind of?
Maybe a little shorter than you. So it could be a human, could be some other type of humanoid. Not very bulky, rather slim.
Okay. I'm going to call out and just hopefully they're friendly. Hello.
Roll me a persuasion check, please.
My very persuasive hello.
You do sound
Not
friendly.
very persuasive. No, I didn't actually.
No, you see a little movement over there, but it just seems to be someone maybe crouching down or something.
You probably sound very friendly, but the dragon on your shoulder is a little bit of a
Oh
deterrent.
yes. Yes.
Can I wiggle on
definitely-
down and you can try it again?
I wonder if I should do this. You know what, Paul?
Chris?
I am going to cast command on the target. And the target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or follow the command that I am about to give it.
Okay. So this is basically Cleric Roofy, right?
Well, not that horrifying. Because
So
I can't
dark.
I can't command someone to stab themselves. This is more
Okay.
generic things.
Okay.
So the number to beat is 16. Approach. And then my word has a little bit extra sonorousness to it, and it kind of has a weird echo quality.
As you do that, Reed just bumps into you. Yes.
God damn it, man! I wasn't targeting you. Relax.
I lean and nuzzle into your neck. That was very persuasive.
I really appreciate the positivity you guys are bringing into my life.
And as the two of you are both nuzzling up to Gaius, you notice what looks like a young woman kind of come out from behind the trees in the boulder and start walking towards you. Um, Rather fair skin, dark hair pulled up. Um, Looking, if someone looked like they didn't belong in the eastern districts, this person's kind of the poster child for that, because she's rather attractive, uh, but is wearing these long black silk robes with these bands of golden silk around the arms.
Eldred, do those robes look familiar to you?
The colors do, but they're not wizard robes.
Yeah, but what were the ones that you were wearing that
Black with
were troubles?
gold.
Bands?
On it, basically, there were some bands around the end of the sleeves, as well as the
Ooh.
collar and the base. This was like the trim almost of what Eldred had.
Yeah.
This looks like the arms look like it's equal bands of black, gold, black. And it's like it's not golden thread like what he had. It's like
Yeah.
stripes of golden silk, like bright yellow, in other words.
Oh, okay. So, vaguely familiar, but not necessarily of the same.
Right.
Hmm.
Whereas
Eldred.
his stuff looked like, black with gold accents. This looks like like almost like a kimono, but that the sleeves were patterned after bumblebees.
It's a female, Paul?
Yes. Looks to be
human?
maybe could be late teens, could be somewhere in their 20s. It's hard to tell from this distance.
Miss, may I ask what you are doing here in the Eastern District? My name is Gaius. I am a cleric. These are my friends, Reed, gesturing butt trumpet, and Eldred. We
He gives
are
a
a
deep bow.
group of adventurers doing some investigative work. This does not seem like the place I would find someone dressed so fairly.
If you need help, we can help. We're heroes.
I'm not correcting it this time.
Okay, so tell me, command, is it the initial command? Is that all they follow,
It,
or is it like a
it,
charm?
it is just a one word command that the creature has to follow on that turn. So
Okay.
basically,
And afterwards, do they know that they were commanded?
it doesn't say that. It's more of just it because it's just following a one word thing.
Gotcha.
It doesn't say
Okay.
anything about. It's not like the other ones like Friends or anything like that where it has that specific
Okay.
verbiage where it knows it's been charmed. This
No
isn't
problem.
charm. It's more of just
No problem.
I said this word so authoritatively you were just compelled
Got it.
for a brief moment.
Got it. Okay. The woman continues walking towards you and slowly and
Yeah.
says, I am Nafila. I seem to have lost my way. I am headed towards the docks to catch a ship. I was meeting with some friends for goodbye drinks. And I said goodbye, and then
where were you having the drinks?
the place with where all the drink places are.
Oh, where the distilleries are. Okay.
Yes.
So, Nafila, how much did you have to drink? Enough to maybe head in the wrong direction, you think?
I am not from this area, so that is possible. I only had one or two or so. Uh,
Okay.
and she looks past you and says, I am from there," and points to the top of the peninsula that sticks out from the cliffs.
Oh dear.
Mhm.
Okay, and you were going to the docks to catch a ship?
Yes.
Oh, okay. How
If
far?
you,
So, Paul, we're based on the knowledge we have to escort her to the docks. That's over in the where that's the West District, right?
correct.
Back where we were.
Correct.
Hmm. Well,
I just, if you could direct me to where those bars are and I can find my friends again.
well, I think. How far have we traveled away from the
15 minutes maybe.
15?
Yeah, you're like 15 minutes past Death's
Yeah.
Door.
So, how about this, Nafila? I won't feel comfortable. How about we walk you back and make sure we find your friends first? That way you don't
Well,
end up back over here by accident again.
well, if you just can walk me back to where the bars are, I can find it from there. I don't want them to know that I was so stupid as to get lost.
It's not stupid to get turned around and lost. I guess at this point, Paul, I think I want to do like an insight check on her to see if she's being 100% honest with us.
Okie dokie.
And I rolled a nat 1, so I believe every word she says.
Yeah, no,
And
she
I'm
seems
going to
to.
escort her to, to the bars, unless somebody
Okay.
else has anything else.
Anybody else have anything?
That just
Uh,
sounds like your friends are dicks.
What was that, Butt Trumpet?
Yeah, it just sounds like your friends are dicks.
Nafila, may I ask? It's
She
just
just kind of stands there with her mouth open, like not sure how to respond to that.
Guys, who's gonna save it here?
at which point, guys just starts talking over. It's like, so Nafila, that isn't interesting. So you say you're from up there. Well, what is your last name, by any chance? Maybe we know your family name.
Oh, I'm sorry, we just met. I don't know you well enough to
And-
give you personal information.
I mean, all I was making was small talk, Nafila. It's just more to make you comfortable. I'm Gaius Argos, traveler, adventurer, cleric. If you ever need healing or anything like that,
Are you walking and talking or still stationary?
yeah. No. We're definitely escorting
Okay.
her back to
Okay.
make her feel more comfortable. And this is more like Gaius in bullshit mode at this point. Just
Okay.
trying to.
how come you didn't say you were a wizard? You always leave that out.
And it's cleric is just another term for wizard, I guess. As he's like sitting there grinding his teeth as he's saying that.
He's a wise
Eldred
wizard.
says, "You really should embrace it, Gaius. You know you want to."
Yeah, sure. Anywho, I'm going.
You
You know what?
know-
I might just. He leads in toward Eldred. I'm going to just learn some of your damn magic to actually make it true.
Oh, I'll teach you. When we get back, come up to the roof with me. I'll teach you some spells.
I am not going to. If you could teach me Featherfall, that'd be a thing. But I know you don't know Fly yet because I haven't seen you do it. I know you.
You-
You would show off if you had it.
He leans in close to you and says, "Just don't let the others know."
Yes, I got it. It's a good joke. Anywho, yeah. So Nafila, it's more of yeah. So you came down from there. Oh, you said you're going on a boat. Are you going on a trip? Oh,
I'm sorry. I don't know you, and I'm just a little nervous, and I just want to get
Listen,
back
that's
to my
okay.
friends.
This is what we call in the business small talk. I don't know if
Oh,
you're
I'm not
used to
that
that
sort
growing
of
up
girl.
there.
I'm not a business person.
What? No, like it was a euphemism for being able to have a conversation, small talk, like talking
Oh.
about little inconsequential things to not have these super awkward pauses that apparently are now a thing. Um,
We
yeah,
we've
Nafila,
been
it's
to
just
the docks before, and some of the ships look like they got some really bad people on them. So you should be careful.
yeah, that's
I'm sure my
yes.
friends will take care.
Okay. Well, if they don't, please get like a guardsman or someone to escort you because the docks can be a little rough.
Oh, the guards. Yes, the guards, I'm sure, are very helpful.
Yes, we're friendly with the guards. We worked with them before, so it's just that's why we're up in this area. We're actually looking for a couple guardsmen
One of you give me a perception check.
with the hand of Bacchus. As Gaius puts his hand on his shoulder,
Okay.
using guidance because I don't use that enough. So just add a D4 to your roll, and if
Don't
you
bother.
can't, I'll do it.
Don't
Oh.
bother there.
No, okay.
Not with it. Not with
Yeah.
it.
Are you sure? We can make it maybe an 8.
Yeah, it still wouldn't be enough.
Okay.
I figured.
But guys, you're talking to her, so if you want to give a perception check with disadvantage, being that it was kind of Reed's thing, if you want to just give it a shot, go ahead.
All right. Yeah, sure. Okay. 1, 2. Okay. So the bad one's a 19. The good one was
Okay.
a 28.
You just notice as you start walking, her eyes are darting about, and she keeps looking around her all over. Every now and then focusing on like some large boulders near the cliff, or a bunch of ruins over on the other side. They just seems to be looking around, like as you're going, seems almost at times not even to be paying attention to you.
Guys
Are
is
we-
used to
are-
people not paying attention to him.
Are we
But-
in the fog here?
Still, yeah, at the moment, yeah, you're about ready to come out of it, as you're almost at death's door.
So, quick question, Nafila. You were heading toward the docks, yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And the moment you stepped into the mist, you didn't realize you were heading in the wrong direction?
By the time I did, I got turned around. I heard some noises and I got disoriented.
Hmm.
Well, you're lucky you found us because we had to fight off some creatures that were in the mist before. So
Like
we can protect you if they come back.
just a little while ago?
No, previous
Are they
adventure.
around here?
Didn't notice them recently.
And you see her kind of take a couple steps forward and like look around even more anxiously, and then turn around and look behind you, like looking all over.
Don't worry,
Nafila,
we can protect them.
Are you worried that the creatures are going to come, or are you looking for them?
I just want to make sure that we're not walking into them. That's all.
No, I'm pretty perceptive. I think I would notice if we were about to be ambushed. I set you up, Paul. Are you gonna? This is where we get jumped.
No, she just seems to be really, really looking all around. Her eyes are darting all over. She squints a little bit, looking into the mist, and
I lean over to Reed. Hey, could you not tell the very skittish woman about the monsters in the mist we're currently walking through?
Oh, okay, sure.
Bad form, man, bad form.
Oh, sorry. I was just
It's okay.
saying how we could protect her. That's
Oh, I know what you were doing, but I don't think she has zero trust in us at this moment.
Oh, okay.
So you get you're out of the mist. You're at death's door. You get a little further on. You're about at the bend, and she says, "Oh, I recognize this. I know where I'm going now. Thank
Okay.
you so much." And she reaches in to a pouch and goes through it and kind of pulls out and offers you a gold piece and says, "For your troubles, thank you so much."
Gaius kind of like puts the coin back in her palm and like folds her hands and says, "Really, miss, it was for your own safety. I appreciate the offer, but please go on your way. Be safe."
Thank you, sir, and sir, and sir, and all of you.
Dragon.
Dragon.
Dragon. They prefer
Yes.
dragon right now.
Yes, dragon. Thank you. And turns around
No
and
problem.
kind of briskly walks away.
Yeah, should we like after she gets out of yeah.
Mhm.
So once she's out of hearing, like that was fucking weird.
And
Should we make sure
uncomfortable.
yeah, dude, should we make sure they're okay? I don't want to be creepy, but I also don't want like there was something off about her, right?
I
I
thought
didn't
maybe she was drunk.
accidentally.
Yeah.
That's what I was hoping because you don't really accidentally stumble into a cloud that terrible smelling without realizing you've headed into it.
Hmm.
Like it's one
Maybe-
thing getting lost in a city; it's another thing getting lost and ending up in the funky cloud. 'Cause
Well,
if she's
remember-
from here,
Yeah, remember
Hmm.
when the people were they couldn't see the house, they were all confused. It's almost like that.
it was like that. But the thing was, we had to point it out to them, and then they got disoriented. Otherwise, everything was fine. There was something different about that. At first, I thought, oh, maybe whatever is affecting the kids is affecting adults now. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she wasn't like the kid we found. Like he was catatonic. She was responsive, granted, kind of super shifty. Is she still within sight, Paul, at this point?
No. You know what? Give me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
She's hiding.
12?
Yeah, no, you don't see her.
Okay. Now, I want to see if I can pull off this nonsense. The object that I'm familiar with is the coin she tried to hand me. And I want to see if I can detect it. And see if it's heading, like, away toward the docks that I know.
Okay, here's the question I have. This was a kind of a gold piece that looks
Yeah.
like a million other gold pieces.
Yeah. I knew as soon as I was saying it, I don't think...
I like the idea, it's just...
Yeah. So alternatively, the spell can locate the nearest object, so it'll just point to the gold I have in my pockets. So
Okay, because I'll say for the moment, you kind of... Your senses kind of ricochet all over both sides of the street here on a whole bunch
nope.
of different floors and everywhere.
Nope.
You should
Gotta make
focus
sure
on
it's
her
something
robe.
different.
You should focus on her robe, maybe.
Yeah. You know what? Great idea. I try focusing on the robe instead.
Okay.
I assume that one's a little bit more unique. It's like, no. Coin was a bad idea.
Okay, can you read me the spell like how it reads?
An object that is familiar to you, you sense the direction of the object's location. As long as it is within 1,000 feet of you, if the object is in motion, you know the direction of its movement. The spell can locate a specific object known to you as long as you have seen it up close within 30 feet at least once.
Okay.
Alternatively, and then like the spell, if it's kind of a not a rare thing. So
Mhm.
unless somebody has this specific dress also
Right.
in the area, The only thing that blocks, so what will block the spell, Paul, is a like lead, a sheet of lead. That's it, like a sheet of lead. So somebody's got to specifically like
Okay,
put
so
shit in
unless
a lead cube,
the dress had a lead
lead
outer
lining,
layer,
then
yeah,
yeah, correct.
which is very stylish right now, I hear. But
Oh yeah, all the rage.
yeah,
What
All
I
the
want
rage
is
in the
poison
Overlook.
metal all over my body.
there you go.
I want to be a raving lunatic in 20 years.
Well, not only that, imagine carrying that all over the place.
Everyone's jacked because they're wearing freaking body armor everywhere.
And body armor is an understatement. Okay, so
Yeah.
you get a ping in your mind, but
Mhm.
whereas like with Reed, it was crystal clear.
Yeah.
This seems to be around the bend, down the alley, off to one side, seems to be moving briskly, but it seems to be faint and flickering in your mind.
Do I get the sense that they're moving toward the docks, like where I know the
Yeah.
general direction, or
Yeah.
I just didn't want somebody to be doubling back? I guess. Solid read on them. It seems they're heading in the right direction. Question is, group, should we follow to make sure she's okay, or continue on mission?
Before anybody says anything, Gaius, so you know, like I said, it was faint and flickering. But the other thing I should let you know is it was moving exceedingly fast. Like it was very close to the border of your distance. But it was moving faster than you expect.
Okay. Weird caveat. She is moving faster than a normal person should. If that
Like-
throws a bug,
More than just wanting to catch up with her friends?
I don't like it's moving fast. I don't know if it's like carriage level fast. There's no carriages over in the East District at this moment, right? Because of all the horse
You
banning
saw
and
some
whatnot.
carriages along this area, but because it's cobblestones, they don't move
They
very
move relatively
fast.
slow.
Yeah.
Moving faster than that. Okay.
Oh,
So
easily.
yeah. Oh, okay. So she's moving like faster than carriages, which
Maybe she's a wizard too, and she could fly.
Eldred, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Those
there are
look like
female.
wizard
There are
robes.
definitely female wizards, but
Ah, son of a bitch! You know what I meant. I know there's female
What?
wizards, man.
oh,
I was thinking like, you know how I can sometimes enhance people's perceptions and abilities. I'm trying to think if there's something along those lines to help.
oh yeah.
Trying to think.
I mean, she didn't
Oh.
strike me as a magic type, but
Yeah,
I'm not
well,
being
the-
judgmental. It was more the, I don't know. I don't want to judge. I just didn't get that vibe.
Yeah, no, it was more of I guess it's just because it was
I
something.
mean, I get the
off
same
about
vibe
her.
when I look at Reed. It's like talking to Reed. In your head, it's just like, yeah, not a magic type.
Just
Yeah,
saying,
no, and it was
if
just-
we follow her, there's a risk of people seeing Reed's head.
Well, he's got it covered.
He's got a scarf and a hat over top of that.
All right.
Yeah, he's. I mean, let's be okay. Yes, in our party we have two people that different groups want to potentially kidnap and or interrogate.
I mean, I have an expert disguise, so
Eldred says,
I
yes,
have a
you
scarf.
do.
Yes, you do. Okay. So basically, the question I'm asking to the party is: do you think it's worth trying to pursue her, or should we continue on with what we were planning?
If she went really fast, I think we should just do what we were doing.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a way to actually keep up with her. I mean, I can kind of keep up with them within a certain amount of distance, like 1,000 feet or so, if that is the system that is used here in this world. But so we have her name, and I guess we could ask about it later. Okay, then I guess we head back to the Stradivarnius house. Okay, but if we run into Nephila again out there, there's definitely something hinky going.
It could be a twin. Yep.
Triplets.
There could be 3 of them.
But
Could just be a
Quadruplets.
fashion statement too.
septuplets.
All lost in the mist from going to the docks.
Eldred goes,
Yeah,
"Be
they-
still my heart."
Okay, so yeah, we head back into the schist.
Okay, anyone, roll me a 20-sider, please.
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Just not a 1.
Well, now you jinxed it.
No, I didn't. I called it out so it wouldn't happen. Boom. 19.
You get into the mist. Once or twice, you think you see a shadow moving rather briskly through the mist, but then when you turn to look at it, it seems to be gone. You kind of get past Splatterfields to where that kind of dead area is before you get closer to the bitch. And then it kind of rises up before you, that the shadow that is the mansion to the right of the road.
There it is.
Hey, it's
Onto that.
Stradivarnius house.
So there you are. The house lays before you. Someone give me a perception check.
I'll do it.
I'll do
Um,
it.
You got it?
You'll
Yeah,
do
you guys, you guys are better than me at perception.
With Bacchus's favor, read. Perceive.
So it's plus D4, right?
Yes.
All right. Ah, do I get to reroll one? I'm a halfling.
Yes, you are. Aha! He's halfling luck. That's right.
Let's try that again. Not much better, but a little better.
And
And I am
A
not used
whole
up this
point
night.
better.
I am not perceptive today.
I'm not letting you do it anymore.
Reed is just standing there like, look, it's the house. Mhm.
Ah.
I thought I heard music.
Yes, I guess we approached the house, Paul,
Okay.
with no information whatsoever.
I want to
you,
see. I want to see if the pallets and stuff that we had to climb last time are still there.
Yeah, I won't even have you roll for that. It's there. The garbage is still there.
All right. So,
Is the door
I
open?
guess we...
So you move the piece of porch over by the door.
Yeah, we
I
do
assume
the
the
same
door.
thing we did the last time. Yeah, just gotta
door is
shift
shut,
everything
right?
back.
Yeah. Okay. So you have it over by the door. What do you do?
Climb up.
You know, I was looking for my icon this whole time because the mist is so thick.
Yes, the schist is thick. Yeah, so I guess Reed, yeah, you can climb up first and take a peek in.
Okay.
The most dexterous of the group.
I'll pause when I get up high enough, and I'll knock. Just wait a few seconds to see if I hear anything.
Okay. Roll me a perception check there, Reed.
Yay, a little
Okay.
better. 12.
You see Reed climb up the old wooden boards and doesn't hear a thing. There's just silence in response.
Then I will attempt to open the door.
And you recognize the black and white tiled marble floor.
Well, I'm gonna climb in, but I can't. Can't seem to do it.
There you
Oh.
go.
There we go. Okay.
Well,
I can't see my friends.
you
I look around the room and I motion for everybody else to climb up.
Okay.
I boost butt trumpet up.
knew. Whoop! There it is.
Gonna just make things easier
Lace-
for you.
Lace my fingers
you.
together and offer Eldred a boost.
Thank you, he says.
Oh my God, Eldred, I hope you didn't go commando.
Shh, he says.
Why'd you have to point that out?
I'm perceptive in some things. It's just not
Except
very
people
useful.
who are wearing underwear or not.
I never said that I was.
Have a particular set of skills. They're not very useful.
Unless you want to know useless.
They're a nightmare for when
crazy.
things are important. Scooch on up there.
Yeah. Anyone not notice that up on the stairs there?
What do we see up there, Paul?
What you see is a room very much like what you remember. The floor is black and white marble. Atop the stairs, where there was once 2 suits of armor, is now one very large set of armor. Now, at the end of last session, last time you were here, you noticed that this indeed was bigger.
Wasn't
now-
it the 2 sets that formed up into the one?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is more than twice the size of what that was.
Oh.
So it's
Because-
doubled in its original size.
Yes. And Gaius, give me a perception check, please.
22.
The armor has the combination of all the other armors with it, but you notice there's even more armor attached to it now, some of which looks strangely like what you've seen the guards wear.
Oh. Oh, hey, I know what happened to the guards, guys.
Oh, what?
And it's horrifying.
Oh.
The armor bits went into that.
I wonder where the rest of them went.
Hey, Paul, with that perception check, do I notice if the armor is now juicy?
Define juicy.
Like unnecessary leakage. There's
Juicy.
bits of cloth.
It's parts of it are dinged up
People-
and stuff, but you don't.
Is it
There
blood
might be
stained?
some staining here and there, but that very well might be oil. You don't know.
It's probably not oil.
Oh
I'm
no.
just wondering if it just kind of like picked them up wholesale and just was like, mick.
Bleh.
Are those
This
round poker chip looking things something new?
Oh, those are the
Pillars, right?
Posts at the end of the stairs.
Okay,
They were
they were
there
there
before.
before. Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of the you come down to the stair, and atop the post at the end of the railing, there's a big ball of.
Got it. Big ball stuff.
Yeah.
I think we
We
kind
should
of
stay away from that armor.
Is it moving, Paul? Is it doing anything?
No, it's stock still.
Is it
Okay,
posed
yeah,
like
we def-
like an ornament? Like the
Pardon me?
like a stack.
is it
Is it?
is it posed like a statue? Yeah.
It's posed like a suit of armor.
Okay.
It's standing there. It's got a strange-looking, incredibly large sword that it's holding before it, with the point down.
Okay, so
Maybe
we
we
know what happened to at least some of the guards.
They lost their armor. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not just that, but yeah, definitely lost their armor. Judging by the smears of substance on it, maybe more.
Juice.
They might have been juiced, yes.
Ugh.
Maybe we should look at some other rooms.
Yeah,
Let's
let's
like
look around.
not be here.
Well, we did walk all the way here. We can't just not. look around.
I don't mean like the house, just like not looking at, you know,
Oh,
this.
I got you. Yeah. Nope.
Please let me
all right.
know if anyone goes by the stairs.
No.
Nope.
Wall crawling.
Yeah, no, we kind of keep a healthy distance from the stairs and the juicy armor. Pointing to the right hand side. He's like, I seem to remember that room just being no extra doors or anything, so let's peek in there first. Oh, Butt Trumpet,
Okay.
you weren't here the last time. Be careful looking in mirrors here.
Wait a minute, I remember the mirrors.
How drunk am I?
Eldred looks
Also-
to you, Reed, and Butt Trumpet and says, do you find that strangely discomforting as well?
Who's here for the...
Yeah.
Anywho, word of warning to the party, remember about the mirrors.
Got it.
At which point, Gaius, the cover over his faux pas, goes toward the right-hand door.
Okay.
Although, if we see Kellen in one, we should try and help him in case he's trapped in there.
Yes.
Kind of heave him on out of there.
I wonder if breaking the mirrors would hurt him or not. I don't know.
So, as
we
I
got-
open the door and look in, Paul, is anything there to assault me? Or
It kind of looks very much the way you left it the last time.
I guess just take a quick look around to see if anything has changed out of the ordinary. Not
Okay.
making eye contact with mirrors. If there, I can't remember if there's one in there.
No, because the walls are surrounded by bookshelves.
That's right. Yes, this is the library. I guess I take a gander at the books on the shelves
Okay.
to see
If you remember,
the.
there is a fireplace with a picture over top that has 3 slash marks through it.
Mm,
It looked like it was a very elaborate, beautiful painting at one time, but it looks like there's 3 slashes lined up across it, kind of obscuring the face of the figure that was painted. In the
Did
far,
it look like a guy or a girl in the picture?
it's tough to tell with the slashes, but from the
Like the
dress,
dress.
from the dress, you can tell it's kind of a formal, high collared silk or lace collar with a brooch. It leads you to believe that this was a female.
Okay.
And as you look closer, give me a perception check, please, Reed.
Doing so well with these tonight. I'm sure I'll be great. Oh, it's
I
funny.
have faith.
Woo!
You see, that's all it took.
Yeah. By Bacchus, I am perceptive.
Bacchus, take the wheel.
You notice
Look at
the brass plaque, the little black brass plate at the bottom of the painting says Arabella Stradivarnius.
Reed can read. Look at that.
This is very good.
And up at the far end away from you, you see a desk pushed up against the wall. Actually, it's pulled out a little bit and just left at an angle. And around the floor are just a bunch of books and papers that have been thrown around and opened and just in disarray, and piles of them here and there. You guys, you remember from last time you went through them. Very,
Mhm.
very old books, none that really struck your fancy or interest. Ledgers and kind of various books at the time and such.
Did we go through the desk last time?
Yes.
Yep. That's where Kellen
That's
got
where we
that
found
key.
the key that we don't have anymore.
I don't remember.
And the stone.
Yeah, S and the stone. So that we also don't have anymore. You know what?
We
I'm
keep
going to go
losing
over to
stuff.
that painting and just kind of see if I can lift it off the wall.
Okay. Give me a dexterity check.
I'll go near to
Scary.
where he is and just kind of watch the doors and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. It's the angle of it's over the fireplace, and
Hmm.
it looks like it's secured pretty well on that wall.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
it's kind of like leaning forward at a weird angle for you to try to grab it. It's a pretty wide painting. I mean, it's a pretty large painting.
hmm. So okay, if I'm that close and I can't jostle it off, can I at least like open up one of the slashes to see if I can look in and see what's back there?
Okay. It just seems to be brown paper behind the canvas that
All right.
looks like it's been stained with age and
So it's like the backer for the actual painting
right.
itself. See if I can just like push through and just feel if it's wall or something different.
Feels like stone behind it.
So okay, all right, I'll leave it alone. All right, well, I guess we can move on to the other rooms. Oh, we'll see. Hey, you know what? Maybe we can find some more sconces to sell while we're here. We got a pretty penny for those.
Hmm. Are there any in this room, Paul?
Oh,
No.
yeah. Anything gold plated or otherwise? No. Okay. Then I
The
guess
the
we.
plate on the picture, you're not sure if it's gold or brass, really, because
Hmm,
it's really
yeah. Well, has it
Oh,
turned like a greenish hue?
yeah.
Then it's brass. It's not gold. Leave it alone. Believe me, I cleaned a lot of brass work at the Abbey.
Well, at least you know how to keep your brass clean.
Yeah, it's just a lot of attention. I guess we go try the left-hand door.
Okay.
This one.
Yeah, we had problems with this door before, Paul. Is
Okay.
it
Oh,
locked
yeah.
for you?
Hold on.
Because if not, we could just teleport through the north door and go back
Yeah,
and around.
go ahead and do that because I don't seem to be able to move anybody right now.
Yeah, poopy.
Hold on, let me see if I'm on this side. If that does that? No.
You just closed it, I
Yeah,
thought.
yeah. It's like we can't move through it though for whatever reason. There might be some code in the boundary that's stopping it from happening.
Okay.
Well, we'll just say the door's open. We walk through it
Okay.
using our mind palaces.
I
or
can't
whatever.
get in here. There we go.
there you go.
Did you do that or did
There
I?
it is. I did,
Funny
actually.
that.
Okay. I was going to say I didn't
Not
think I
as
could
dumb
help
as
you.
I look.
There you go.
The power of butt trumpet.
So, all
Couldn't
right,
help
we
but
have now
see.
entered the dining room.
Yep.
Has anything changed, Paul? I am not making eye contact with Mirror.
Okay. The mirror is between the two doors. You do notice that the black covering is kind of laid out on the floor in a heap, kind of off by where the chairs and furniture is off to the side.
Hmm.
Still by where you are, there's piles of leaves. The table's still there. Everything pretty much looks the same.
Both the windows are closed, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so maybe the guards came in and uncovered the mirror. Oh God! Hopefully, one of them didn't get sucked into a mirror dimension. That would be bad. He ain't coming back from that. Or maybe he will. Okay, so if nothing looks different in this room, I guess we'll carry on to the kitchen.
While everybody's still near me, Reed is definitely going to take a quick glance at the mirror.
Okay.
I want to see if I see Kellen or anybody.
Roll me a 20-sided
Is
die,
that
please.
halfling I see staring straight? Sorry.
He's
Just a
That iced
straight
coffee
up
is like
20?
really hitting different.
Straight up 20, right?
Yep.
All right. A 5.
Okay.
I'm sure that's a good roll.
Yeah.
Okay, are you just walking up to it and looking in, or are you doing anything else?
I'm doing it from a little bit of a distance.
Okay. You see something in there kind of standing before you. Maybe the mirror's a little
Like-
dirty. You're not 100% sure.
Oh. So I kind of glanced at the mirror. I see a little something. You want to take that cloth and wipe it off? No? Should I look at? I don't want to look away. What if it goes away?
I'm kind of hoping it does.
But what if?
Can we not look in magic mirrors?
Okay, all right. I look away.
You know what mirrors are for some magical things? Doorways.
Glass. Oh. Oh.
Doorways.
Well, that doesn't
Maybe
sound
into
so bad.
people. Oh, it
Oh.
could be. Listen, I haven't met everything I've met that has like magical orientation is kind of not great.
Reed,
Aside from Bacchus.
roll me a 20-sider, please.
There you go.
Okay.
Hey.
Everyone but Reed, take off your headphones, please.
Yep.
Reed, you're not 100% sure, but it looked like it might have been Kellen. I mean,
It was short.
yeah, it wasn't a tall person. I mean, you just looked in briefly from a distance, so it was hard to tell, but you could tell it wasn't a tall person.
Okay. I would tell guys that right away.
Okay. All right, do the
Yeah.
finger swirl thing.
Yep. Butt trumpet. There we go.
You.
Yes.
Guys, that might be Kellen in there. Look kind of short. Like
Uh-huh.
Kellen. You think we should try and get him out?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll break it. I could break it, or try to. No.
I mean, I don't know if breaking's a good or a bad thing, though. Because if he's in there and you break it, you could kill him. Or free him.
Or trap him in
Oh.
there.
Or trap him wherever he's at.
Oh.
Because
Or
if
can
that's
pass
a
right through,
doorway,
'cause-
that means that could be his way in or out.
Oh dear. Yeah, no.
Well, I feel really bad. What if he's stuck in there and we leave him? I don't want.
Is that which? I wonder if there's something I could do. At which point, Gaius is just going through all the spells that are stuck in it, just been crammed into his head through spiritual means. Fuck.
If more than one of us look at the mirror at the same time, is that really bad thing?
Well, we did notice that when we had looked in the mirror, we all didn't see the same thing.
I don't think I ever looked in the mirror. Actually, now that I think about it.
I think I did accidentally one time, and it was vague.
Well, maybe if like I held somebody's hand and then reached out with my hand towards the mirror, maybe they could grab my hand through the mirror.
You could get, and then suck you in.
Well, like if you held my other arm so that I don't get sucked in, would that work?
It
No?
could.
I'll hold your hand, Eldred says. Or we could reach out together.
Well,
Eldred, have you been looking in the mirror?
He looks at you, points to his head, and says, "Look at my hair. Do I look like I've done anything with my hair in like days?"
that still sounds like
That
Eldred.
doesn't-
He's okay.
Yeah, I didn't get that. That wasn't a very clear answer, one way or the other. So, shit.
Aha! So there you have your answer.
Yeah.
That's Eldred.
I mean, I could try to dispel the magic of the mirror, but I'm almost certain the magic's too powerful for what I could do to it. Search the rest of the house first? Or Reed, do you really think Kellen's in there and you can try and rescue him right now?
I couldn't really tell who it was or what it is. Now I'm kind of worried to look
Because
again.
I'll back you up if you believe that to be true. Because I didn't see
Well,
anything because I wasn't looking.
I know what you're worried about. It could be a trick of the house, right? So,
Yes, that is what I'm worried about.
yeah.
But I
Okay.
have faith in you, my friend, and the decisions you make, mostly.
Oh, well, thank you.
Eldred
Yeah.
says,
Okay,
and
well-
we can always check out to see if he's there before we leave.
Yes, we'll double back. How about that? We're gonna have to come this way again because we're not going near the stairs this time. In the main
Right.
office.
Oh, jeez. Do you think we're gonna have to sleep here?
No.
Oh, I don't want to sleep here
No.
again.
No.
It was creepy last
No,
time.
listen.
No.
We had enough. Anyway, so let's move on to the next room.
Well, can I?
Right?
Before we leave, can
Yeah.
I just look again? And you can grab the back of my armor and don't let me go anywhere.
Let's each grab a hold of Reed, like
Yep. Sure.
just in case.
All right. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's-
And I'm gonna look, and if I see a figure in the mirror, I am going to wave.
Okay. Everyone but Reed, take off your headphones, please. Reed, roll me a 20-sider, please.
14.
Okay. How close to the mirror are you getting? Because before you were like
Yeah, like-
10 feet away, and it was kind of tough to. You just saw
Just
like a blurry
just a little closer. At the
5
most,
feet?
5 feet away. Yeah.
Okay. You are pretty darn sure that's Kellen in there, but he's not facing the mirror. He's kind of looking off to the side.
I'm pretty sure it's Kellen.
It looks like a halfling. Like the
And I
outline
recognize
looks
maybe
like
the
Kellen.
clothes or the. With everybody still grabbing me, I'm just gonna reach and grab a silver coin
Okay.
and just kind of flip it towards the mirror so that it makes a noise on the mirror. See if it can get his attention.
Roll me another 20-sider, please.
20.
That coin goes right into the mirror, disappears without a sound.
Do I see it on the other side of the mirror?
It dropped over the edge, and you
And out
didn't
of
see
sight?
it because it like dropped down towards the floor. But after you did that, the figure turns to you. Oh, and it definitely looks like Kellen waves and
Oh.
takes a couple steps towards you, and looks at you expectantly with his face.
I try to motion to him to come out.
And he gets up to the glass, like up pretty close, and he's like sticking his hand towards it, and looking rather like almost like whether it's hope or you're not sure. It's kind of an unusual look you're not familiar with.
Okay. Then I want to tell everybody else that it is Kellen, and I want to reach out to him.
Okay, do the finger thing.
All right.
Okay, so Gaius, Eldred, and Butt Trumpet, you see Reed kind of from 10 feet, he gets to about 5 feet in front of the mirror, kind of leans forward a little bit, looking in, kind of seems to be studying the mirror, reaches into within his cloak and seems to motion as if he's throwing something towards the mirror. You don't hear anything, and then all of a sudden he says something to you.
It's Kellen. It's Kellen, and he's reaching out. I think I should try to take his hand and pull him out.
Oh shit! At which point, guys, is like kind of looking away, like heading toward Reed as best he can. No, 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 no.
No, no. Can we
Oh,
throw him a rope or
not.
something? I
Yeah,
threw a coin.
sure. We have rope. I
I
didn't
threw
see
a
you
coin
throw
and
a
it went.
coin. I saw you make the throwing gesture, but it didn't notice a coin being thrown.
Oh, I threw a silver and it went right through the mirror.
I'm not against you trying to throw some rope in for him. Don't you reach in, though.
Gaius, you and Buttron, take off your headphones again for a second. Reed, you if you look back, you see Reed kind of looking expectantly and like knocking on the mirror from the other side. And then sticking his hands up like looking at you expectantly. And then make the finger gesture again if you want.
Look up. There we go. Come on. He's
Okay.
trying to get out. If you hold my arm and I could reach it with my other arm, that would be safe, right?
No. How about you try throwing some rope through to him?
Let's all tighten our grip around Reed a little bit, just a smidge.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
I have like
gonna,
my legs wrapped around his neck, my arms on his head.
I saw a play called Poltergeist. Something like this is about to happen.
I look at Kellen and I make the motion like, we have an idea, and then I'm gonna dig out some rope out of my pack and try and.
He looks at you and nods vigorously, and like looking excited a little bit.
Okay, and I will try to throw the end of the rope through the mirror or to him.
Okay. Roll me to hit. It's over 10 will get you hitting the mirror.
Okay.
Actually, over 5.
I'm just gonna do it as a dex check. Is that cool?
That's fine. Okay.
All right, so
The mirror hits the glass and just kind of drops to the floor in front of you.
The rope didn't go through like the coin did.
Yeah, just crestfallen on the other side.
I know you guys don't want to look, but he's upset because the rope didn't go through the mirror.
Oh, son of a bitch. Fuck. All right. I'm going to confirm this. And then guys kind of just open, like, just one eye, just squinting, kind of like looking in the mirror. It's like,
okay.
So I gotta
Reed
roll.
and Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please.
Okay.
Guys, roll me a 20-sided die, please. You see the mirror looks like it's really smeary, blurry, but there's definitely some sort of image in there. So do spin your finger there for everyone to come back.
Okay. I wasn't sure if there's any more details.
It was kind of, that's about it. Just it looks like the mirror's incredibly dirty or something like that. So.
Reed, I am currently looking in the mirror and it just looks dirty, man. I don't know. No, I'm almost wondering if your desire to find him is what is making you see him.
I'm wondering, if the mirror's just messing with you.
It's like reflecting your want, maybe. I read a thing that I heard of a wizard that made a mirror that when you looked into it, it would reflect what you most desire back at you. I hear that's a thing. It could be something similar. I'm just real hesitant to have you touch it, man. That's all. I mean, you can. I'm not saying you but I'm not saying you should.
No, because if it's a trap, I'm just gonna wave to him, and then I'll look away, and that's what I do, Paul. I give him a wave like I tried, and
okay, Gaius and Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please. Okay, so you do that, Reed, and you see the face all of a sudden, like, just is so crestfallen and downfallen, and then kind of leans in and starts banging on the glass, like pleading. And are you walking away then?
Can I hear the banging on the glass?
No. I mean, you hear kind of, it sounds like a distant echoing a little bit, but it's very faint.
I got a tear in my eye. I'm just, but
He,
I'm gonna
he's
turn
saying
back, turn
something.
away
He's
from.
like, you're turning away?
Is he trying to speak? I try and
He's
read what
saying
he's saying.
something. He's like, it looks like he's yelling. And as you're just kind of standing there, it like the pleading starts almost looking like it's turning to anger a little bit, as now he's hitting on the glass with two fists, and
All
you
right,
almost get the feeling it's like, "Don't leave me here," is kind of the impression you're getting from his action.
I think Gaius is right. I'm gonna motion again that I'm sorry, and I turn away
Okay, the last thing
and
you
walk
see as you
away.
turn away is downright rage and banging on that window of Kellen, and you've seen him get angry a couple times, but this is like the next level.
Oh boy! All right, I still turn away and
Okay, do the circular finger thing.
uh, I hope that's not really him. He is so angry at me for not trying to get him out.
Well,
But
what else was he signaling for you to do?
he was banging on the glass and he was trying to say something, but it was so he looked so mad. I've never seen him that mad. When I've seen him get mad before, but never like that. And Reed
I
has just
hug-
like Reed has tears in his eyes.
I reach my little hands and like kind of wipe the tears from his face. I like hug Reed's head and say in his ear, we want to find him too. But we can't keep losing each other.
I mean, we could break the mirror, but I'm afraid that
He
would
said it might
seal
kill him.
the. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know what else to do. I don't know that magic, whatever that is.
Eldred, you don't know
You'll,
anything to get him out if it's him?
The only thing I'm thinking, Eldred says, is do we know if these mirrors, because this isn't the only one in the house, do we know if they're connected?
I don't know anything
I
about
mean,
magic. I don't know.
I mean, it could be, but what is one being connected to the other going to do? We don't know how to interact with them properly. Some of
Well,
us, when we look at them, see nothing, while others see something.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was thinking if you were talking about breaking one.
Oh, okay. Where was another mirror in the house? I know there's an upstairs.
Yeah.
There's one in that room we slept in.
There was that one in
Yeah.
the room with the table before the magic circle room.
You know, the room we slept in, that was the mirror that I saw Kellen standing in front on my watch that night before I fell asleep. And if he disappeared up there and you saw him in here, I think they might be connected.
All right, how about this? Why don't we go up? We'll check the rest of the place out. We'll go upstairs. And if we need to break a mirror in the room that we slept in.
Okay.
And hope that the others are connected. Well, I mean, we'll see if we see Calvin in there too. Because who the hell knows how this shit works? So let's move on to the kitchen, I guess.
Okay.
Also, in this room, Paul, are there still did Kita steal all the wall sconces in here?
Yes. She was incredibly thorough.
Gotcha. Okay.
Okay. So you go into the kitchen. You don't have to move your pieces around. You go into the kitchen, and what do you do next?
Just do a quick search again, see if there's anything in there, anything different.
Just like
changed
before,
or moved.
There's the door directly across from you. There's the fireplace and what looks like an oven. Otherwise, there's broken pottery. That's about it.
Okay.
The door
No.
directly across was the one that like fell off into the ditch.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's the scary door.
So just checking the doors as we're walking to the right side of the building. I know there's a couple doors leading back into the
Yep.
main room,
Mm-hmm.
and then there's like some closets and stuff. I think,
A
or
closet.
pantries. Yeah.
It's a pantry that's totally empty.
Yeah, just popping and looking in there. We're
Okay.
looking for the guard. Like if there's any other guards that probably hopefully survived the armor.
Okay. You don't see anything of interest. Is in the pantry. There's some empty crates and some, a moldy bag of something.
Then I guess we move into the room furthest right that had the shelves and the stairs.
Okay.
Like
You're there,
I guess
and
the
you
servant
can go
stairs.
upstairs or downstairs.
Group. Do we want to upstairs or downstairs first?
Well, downstairs was just the basement with the bones, right?
Well, there was the basement, and then there was the then there was the sub basement with the. Well, you know what? That is what we pointed out specifically to the guard. So if any of them, they might have went down there
Yeah,
first.
They might have went down there. Yeah.
Eldred says there weren't any mirrors down there, though.
True.
Yeah, if we go
true.
upstairs, we're closer to the destination we're aiming for.
All right, we'll make sure we hit the basement up before we leave, though. So we'll go.
Yeah,
upstairs.
we'll be here a while.
Yeah.
I hope not.
Go upstairs.
Yes,
We'll
please.
go upstairs.
Yeah, using the back stairs.
Hold
We'll
on.
go up. We'll double check the mirror in the room, and then maybe just peek into each room to see. Like I said, hopefully there's some guards living somewhere. And then I kind of want to take a look upstairs in the attic. Remember where Reed had the issue with his. I kind of want to just look up there to see if it's gotten worse or better.
So you head up to the second floor.
We go up, and I guess we kind of just were like looking in the rooms as we're making our way toward our sleeping chambers from the time before.
Okay. So
when we go upstairs, I definitely have weapons out.
Okay. You make it to the room.
Still pretty creepy in this house.
Okay, so you go into the room with all the crooked beds and everything, right?
Yes, that's what we were.
Okay.
Heading.
It looks the door is open. It looks very much the way you remember it, except where the mirror was, there is kind of a silhouette of dirt on the wall with a clean part of the wall where the mirror was, but the mirror is missing, as is the black cloth that was over top of it.
Interesting.
Somebody took the mirror.
Yes. Well, we could check some of the other rooms. There was more than one mirror.
So we'll just put you outside that room then.
Yep. Right. So I guess we'll check the other bedroom to the southwest.
Okay.
Look in there real quick.
There was not a mirror in there before. And there isn't one now.
Anything different? Or
nope. Looks very much the same.
All right. Then heading across the hallway here and checking. Checking the other room. Just kind of peeking in, because I remember there being some kind of jelly, some gelatinous.
Yes. There was not a mirror in this room, but the when you go in the door, the top third to your left is just piles and piles of books, all over the floor, like all of the shelving had been emptied.
Oh, it's kind of like I'm before I step in, I'm like looking down to see if I see that stuff that I remember from the last time.
It looks very much the same, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just making sure it hadn't
The
spread.
books you do see are swollen.
Gotcha. Like they've absorbed something.
Right. They look
Yeah,
damp.
yeah.
I just
Quick.
anywhere we go, Paul. I just want to make sure I'm looking for anything that changed from or anything that the
Okay.
guards left around or anything.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no sign of guardsmen or anything touched or moved
Nope.
since we were here last time.
Nope.
All right. Then I guess we'll head north. Now, the door to the ritual room was sealed. Is it still
Correct.
sealed?
It's still very much sealed.
Okay. Then so we head over to the conference room.
The card room. Yeah.
Yeah, that room.
One of the two of you give me a perception check.
I shall perceive. Unnatural 20.
Gaius, you notice is very much the way you left it.
Mm-hmm.
The obviously the deck of cards is gone. The stuff from the table's gone. The chairs are kind of moved around where you left them. There is one noticeable difference, though. On the wall opposite you, there's something that appears to be nailed up. There is the mirror in the upper left-hand corner, still covered with a black cloth. But dead center across from you, actually not that, it's more towards the right in that clear area. Something like the size of a large dinner plate or something, maybe a little bit bigger, is tacked up to the wall.
I go and look.
As you approach, Reed and Butt Trumpet, take off your headphones, please.
All right.
Guys, give me a perception check, please.
22.
Okay. At first, you think it's a mask. Matter of fact, you're pretty darn sure it's a mask as you're getting closer to it. But as you get up to it, this looks like a human face. The skin peeled off a face, off a head. There's two cut open holes where the eyes should be. They look like they even still have eyelashes. And the mouth still has kind of tattered lips, although the mouth seems to be, the corners seem to be torn a little bit.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's kind of the shape of a large platter. The skin's a little ruddy. There's a scar over the one that goes down over the one eye. And as you get closer to it and notice this, all you hear is
what? Oh. Oh no. Who am I speaking to?
Bigglesworth.
Bigglesworth.
He said you would come.
Bigglesworth said I would come. Who am I speaking to?
Bigglesworth.
Okay, I'm speaking to Bigglesworth. Who said I would come here?
The tall, thin man with the pointy red beard and hair.
Okay. Pointy red beard and hair. That's a very vague. And what do you want, Bigglesworth?
To rest.
Oh, well, I mean, Are you currently being held here against your will?
Yes. And I am not alone.
Oh my. Okay. Hmm. Well, as a cleric, I can probably help you pass on. Is that what you want?
Yes, please help me.
Okay. Where are your remains located?
I do not know.
Okay. Okay. I can deal with
And
this.
as you're dealing with this, you see the mouth moving, and
Brr.
when you got closer, the holes where the eyes would normally be, you saw two dark red thumbprints, one in each eye hole. That they were obviously dried something that were red, and it's kind of like a dark reddish brown, but they're obviously very large thumbprints. And when the face starts speaking to you, the thumbprints move around and look around like they're actual eyes following you.
Mm. Oh boy. Okay. Oh. Ooh, there. And there's more. Okay. This isn't good. I...
Help me.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry, bud. Shit. All right. Okay, gonna exercise some ghosts. This is gonna be a thing.
Do the finger thing there,
Oh
Chris.
yeah.
Okay, Butt Trumpet, Eldred, and Reed. You notice Gaius walk across the room to look at something, and you notice there's something that looks at first it's about the size of a platter tacked to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He gets a little closer to it, and then he like leans forward, looks at it, tilts his head a little bit, then kind of immediately jolts his head back as if in shock and walks closer. And you notice he starts talking to it.
What we got going on here, buddy?
Um. Okay, first that, and he points toward the thing hanging on the wall. Somebody took someone's face off.
What?
Yeah. Secondly, um, does anyone know the name Bigglesworth? Anyone?
That
It
sounds
sounds
kind of
familiar.
familiar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does, right? Right. So yeah, I believe the spirit of Bigglesworth was told we would come. They need help to rest. I got a ghost situation on right now that I think I need to exercise.
You see a ghost in here?
I talked to a ghost and the face kind of animated just a little bit to talk to me and stuff.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah, so
Reed steps back and takes out a piece of bacon and starts chewing on it.
yeah. So I'm gonna have to do some cleric stuff about this. Oh shit. This is not really undead. Hey, Bigglesworth, you're just ghost, right? You're not undead, right?
I'm
Yeah, okay. Okay. Uh, hmm.
Reed and Butt Trumpet. Where are you in relation? Where are you in relationship to Gaius?
Is he right up to this thing?
Like within a few feet of it, yeah. At the moment,
Uh,
he's kind of blocking your view.
yeah, I guess I'd probably be by the back chair there. The one, the two on the end of the table, the one further away
Right.
from that wall.
Okay. Okay.
I'll just be next to Reed in that case. Yeah.
Okay. As you get closer, you can see that it is obviously. At first, you thought it was a mask. You thought that's a really ugly looking mask that someone tacked to the wall until it started to speak and it actually spoke like a person. Um, and there's like red eyes that are like looking around and they seem to clock the two of you for a moment.
Ugh.
And
Mm-mm.
as it
Mm-mm.
speaks, the
Mm-mm.
lips are moving. The corners of the mouth seem to be torn a little wider than normal.
Nope.
And the mouth says, "Any of you, please help me."
All right, Bigglesworth, I have an idea. At which point,
Before
guy,
she comes back.
oh, Bigglesworth,
Nope.
who
Nope.
comes
Nope.
back?
Nope. 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 Nope.
The woman. It's
Okay, woman.
her house.
Oh, what does she look like, Bigglesworth? So we know.
Older. Hair bun.
Fun, gotcha.
Suit.
Suit, okay.
Unhappy.
Okay, okay. Anything else you can do to help us, Bigglesworth, before I try to help you pass on?
Do
You said there were others that needed help. You don't know where they are, do you?
I said I am not alone.
Okay, okay. So I'm gonna try a thing, Bigglesworth, right now. At which point, Gaius takes out two copper coins, like rolling them across his fingers, and then kind of places them where the eyes should be. Sprinkles salt across the forehead, and casts gentle repose. Now, this is to stop things from being turning undead and everything. So this isn't necessarily the standard for it, but I'm kind of hoping. This is Gaius now. I'm kind of hoping that if I give this body the opportunity, the spirit will be able to separate and leave before anyone can do anything else, because it feels like it's bound to the body. If that's the case, the spirit could potentially flee and head to where it needs to go.
I'll tell you what. Give me a roll me a percentage dice. We're going to do this as if you're contacting your deity.
Okay, so you want me to do D100?
Yeah.
One.
Ah.
Bacchus, please help this poor soul get to where they need to go. They have been violated cruelly.
Behind the pennies, you see the red eyes kind of dart around. And then, like, you just hear.
You still there? You still there, Bigglesworth? Well, all right.
It didn't work.
Yeah, well, this is kind of just his. This is kind of just his face. I didn't think, and it kind of just like plucks the coins out, and it's like, okay.
You
I'm
notice
thinking we
the
need to
eye, the skin around the eyes actually blinks a little bit after you do that.
Sorry, Bigglesworth. Okay, that was
But it does,
that was
because
something.
there are no eyelids. It kind of just equals a couple of weird squints.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Reed looks over at Eldred. Does he look normal?
Eldred's mouth is open, his eyes are wide, and he's just like he's staying on the other side of the room.
Okay. Just making sure he's still there.
I want to try. I want to try something else. This is new. At which point, Gaius places his hands. Bacchus, this poor soul has been cursed, and I wish for it to be removed. And is casting remove curse, and seeing if that will affect this poor bastard.
Okay. Roll me another D100, please.
30.
Okay. What are the components of the remove curse?
A remove curse is verbal and somatic, so a hand gesture and a
Okay.
word. That's all.
Okay.
That's all that's needed for this one.
Okay. There's silence for a little bit. You don't know if anything happens. And then you hear Sheikah.
Shit. Okay. Yeah, there is some powerful heebie-jeebie shit going on right now, and whoever's doing it is coming back.
Weapons up.
She might need to be slayed, I guess, to undo this necromancy, I guess is what it is. Hey, we get to slay a necromancer. If I was a paladin, I'd probably be excited about this, but I am not. So this is going to suck.
Should we stay in here?
I don't want it. Oh, God.
Eldred
No.
says, "What necromancer? Who are we? Who's coming?"
Oh, shit. You haven't been hearing any of this? Okay, so
Enough to
Bigglesworth.
creep me the fuck out, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. He's saying whoever the owner of house. So apparently there's a Stradivarnius still alive. And they're coming back. Bigglesworth, as I point to the face, don't worry, bud. Keep your chin up wherever it is. I will find a way. I may have to kill a necromancer to make it happen. I mean, it's new. It's exciting. We can do it. I hope.
I wish Nikita was here.
Yeah, me too. But this is what we got.
So what do you do?
So, in case goes bad, Gaius pulls out some strips of white cloth and just kind of spills a little wine and just slaps it on people, and casting aid on Eldred, Butt Trumpet, and Reed. You all now have your hit point total increase by 5 for the next 8 hours. So 5 extra hit points.
Cool.
Nice.
And they're
Says Eldred.
not necessarily counted as temporary. It's increased.
We just lost you there for a moment, guys.
Oh, so the way it works is it's not temporary hit points. Your actual hit point maximum is increased for the next 8 hours by 5.
Okay.
So if you're healed, it can actually heal up to that again.
Oh, cool.
Cool.
Yeah, just in case we run into a problem. I kind of think we need to leave, though, if Bigglesworth
I
is
have
to
no
be
problem with that.
trusted.
And
Okay.
Eldred kind of walks out the door of the room.
Yeah. Before, guys definitely kind of like cracks open this other door to the ritual room and look in and just see if anything's changed.
It looks pretty much the same with the weird everything going
Yeah.
on.
All right, still creepy magical. All right, closes the door and there we go. And follows the rest of the party.
Okay. Where are you going from here?
So do we want to keep looking? Because I have a sneaking suspicion all the guards are dead. It's been like a couple days, so
Yeah, I'm
And we
pretty sure
kinda
they're all
know-
dead at this point.
yeah, we kind of know where their bodies are. I really feel bad for Bigglesworth. We definitely got to come back and kind of fix this later. I
Yeah.
hope. Maybe get friends. Bring some guards along. Go with them this time.
Yeah, we'll pack a lunch.
Yeah, that's a great idea. As far as I know, Reed's one of the few people who just, well, he packs bacon. I don't know if that counts as lunch. It's more like a snack. Anywho, so we're fucking off down the back stairs.
It's more of a meal for all occasions.
Okay,
not how
back
bacon
stairs,
works.
up or down?
Why don't we try down now?
Yeah, well, we're going down because we want to get to the
Okay.
first floor and then leave. I believe.
Mhm.
Wait
You
a
don't
minute,
want to
we're
look
not-
upstairs, right? I don't.
You said you wanted to check upstairs, and you said you wanted to check the basement.
Yeah, well, that was before we were warned that somebody was coming back, right? Do we want to? All right, Redcon, real quick. Do we want to peek upstairs real quick to see how bad it got?
Well, I don't because it hurt my head. But
Well, you don't have to. I mean, one of us can just like gander up real quick. Do we want to take a peek? Ball Trumpet, Eldred, Reed. What do we
Sure.
want? Okay,
okay.
so
Okay.
open up that door, Paul, and just kind of. Is any change in the room?
Nope.
Go up the next flight of stairs. Okay. I assume everybody's following Guys.
I
Guys
don't
kind
want
of
to
just
leave
like
the stairs
goes up.
though, 'cause-
Yeah, Guys kind of like just goes up to the landing and kind of like looks around to see if that stuff has grown closer or if anything's changed upstairs.
The pink bubblegum looking kind of strips across the the entryway looks very similar. You're not 100% sure if it's exact, but it looks similar to the way it was. Everything else looks kind of exactly the same as it did the last time you left it.
So it hasn't like expanded or contracted
No,
or changed
no.
color or anything.
No.
Yeah, it looks kind of the same. Hey, Reed, do you want to just get like a little close to see if your gem senses tingle?
If you think I should.
Yeah, it looks. I mean, it looks the same. I don't know if it's worth a shot, but it's the only thing I can think of.
I'll take a few steps up, see if anything changes.
Okay, so you're up there. Reed, you remember how this kind of looks the same? There's these strips of pink material, like that look like a web, but where the web would normally be white. They're thicker than web you've already seen. It's almost like bubble tape, except it just has a weirder. It seems to, whereas bubble tape's dry, this all seems to have a wet component to it, and seems to be stretchy.
Yeah, I'm not touching it. I'm just kind of looking into it, and I want to see if I get that feeling I got on the gem.
Not at this moment, no.
You know? I'll get close to it. I'll take like one step forward. And
Give me a perception check.
19.
Yeah, no, you seem fine. You're a little tense, but that's just because of the anticipation. You don't
Okay.
feel anything different except maybe a little anxiety.
Okay.
There's a lot of this pink web-like stuff all over the place. Although, if you wanted to, you could kind of crawl through it by parting it.
Nope.
Nope. Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Okay.
I'm gonna back up and tell Gaius and Eldred and Butt Trumpet that I don't feel anything other than the scared feeling I have of being in this room. So I'm ready to go back downstairs.
Okay. Eldred kind of walks up to it.
Nope.
And is kind of trying to look in.
Don't touch it, Eldred. Yeah, I feel fine other than the fact that I'm scared of this room, and we can go. I don't feel anything in the gem or anything.
Yeah, that's also not good, potentially.
Really?
Well, that could be whatever was in there is now gone
Eldred,
somewhere.
Eldred, are you looking in there?
It's tough. There's just a lot of this stuff. I mean, if I could part some of it, I could probably see in further.
No, I'm not. I don't want to touch it.
Okay.
I'm
'cause
not fucking touching it.
if we were to part, I mean, like, I think Butt Trumpet
Gaius.
could probably crawl under most of it and get in there, but
What the fuck, Eldred?
Guys,
what?
I don't want any part of this shit.
Wow.
Maybe.
No way.
Oh. I'm sorry.
So,
Eldred,
Guy-
maybe if you did,
Guy- Guys flips around his backpack, opens it up, rummages through it, pulls out a dagger, and then wanders up and kind of just sees if he can cut it. Like,
Okay.
before, I know it was very, like, sticky and stuff, so just seeing if the consistency has changed at all or anything.
Okay. Give me a perception check, please. First, give me a simple D20, and then give me a perception check.
All right, first the D20, which is 19.
Okay.
And then perception is 19.
Okay. So you take your dagger and you take a hold of this stuff and start to cut through it. And at first it's wet, it's sticky. Your hand's sticking to it. The blade actually cuts through it, but it's also kind of gumming up the blade, and parts of this are sticking to the blade. And it's really kind of like you actually get to cut through an entire strand of this stuff, which is probably about, and there are strands that are inch wide, some that are an inch and a half wide. Most of them are somewhere in there. You're able to cut through the one, and the one side kind of like, it's like they snap like it was a taut rubber band a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Except, the one half of it sticks to your blade for a little bit longer than you expect. And with a 19, I'm going to say what you realize is that as it snaps, you hear the reverberation of that snap like a rubber band kind of go deep within that webbing and just kind of travels. And you hear that as it kind of disappears, and you see a couple other strands throughout start to vibrate a little bit. Your hand is stuck to this stuff, though, at the moment. Even though you cut it, the one is kind of stuck to your hand pretty good.
Okay.
Reed, give me a perception check, please.
Please be good. 13. Oh,
You're getting a little twinge of a headache, but it could just be from all the anxiety.
Gaius, you should take your hand off that.
Yep, currently working on it. As he's like pulling his hand away and like maybe like trying to pry it off with the dagger.
Okay.
I think I'm starting to feel something in my head.
The dagger
Oh.
kind of just gets gummed up in it as well.
Yeah, just okay. Just gonna try strength pulling.
Okay. Give me a strength check with disadvantage, please.
All right, that's 11 and 6. So probably not.
Yeah, no, it's stuck on there good, just across the face of your hand, across your palm. And matter of fact, when it
Well-
snapped, the loose part wrapped around the back of your hand, and it's stuck there too.
All right. Well, guess this is time for magic. And I cast inflict wounds on this very living-looking material.
Okay.
There's a lot of dice.
So, yeah, it does some damage.
Okay, so what does the spell say?
So it is on a melee spell attack against a creature you can reach. On a hit, it takes 3d10 necrotic damage. So I don't like this stuff feels alive and it's maybe a part of something. Basically, I'm just sending a wave of necrotic energy through it to make it let go.
You cast it, and where are you focusing the effect?
Like in the strands wrapped around my hand and like I'm projecting it like outward along the
Okay.
strand. And I nat 20 on the hit in case that matters.
Okay. Yeah, no, it darkens a little bit, and you see like it's almost like you sprayed something out across the stuff in front of you that darkens
Yeah.
it to kind of like a sickly pinkish brown. But it looks like it withers, but more importantly, deep within past it, like pretty far in, you hear this high pitched keening and this like
Which point, guys, hearing that just rips his head.
roll me a 20-sider, please.
Eldred, I think you should use fire.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's a 2. So I don't know, but that's probably not great. Or it could be wonderful.
you pull your thing, and like the elasticity of this stuff kind of pulls your hand back.
Okay. Well,
Is it time for fire? Eldred, fire. It's fire.
I mean, I can turn on my puree mode if we want.
Puree?
Yes.
What does that
I
mean?
just don't know if this. I don't know if this stuff is. I guess the way this stuff is reacted. What's
Go on.
up?
Go on.
The way this stuff is reacted to me, Paul. Do I feel like it's a creature?
No.
Hmm.
Give me a history check, please.
All right. 9.
Give me a perception check, please.
I'll be right back.
24.
Okay. You hear some clicking, and you see deep within the web, like bits of this webbing start to kind of jiggle and shake ever so lightly in deep within there.
Well, I can just. Eldred, you got anything for this?
I can try the fire.
Yeah, like kind of right with the strand that's kind of connected to me.
The
If
knife,
you could, bud.
the dagger cut through it though, right?
Yeah, I get. All right. Fuck. Gaius kind of just starts trying to hack at it with the dagger again, but just a little bit lower down, hoping
Okay.
that the
Roll me a 20.
Croesus kind of ate through it some. Just a standard at 20. 13.
Okay. You cut a good tear. It's still sticking to the blade, but you're about halfway through the band on the opposite end from where you cut the initial one.
All right. I guess I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Okay,
it
roll
seems
me
to be
another
working.
20-sider, please.
10.
Okay. You get through it. So this stuff is sticking to your hand, but you're not attached to the whole big thing of it anymore.
All right. Good. Good. Which point it's like I get like a
Reed, he's
cloth,
free.
and I'm like, yeah, like all right, guys, let's kind of get out of here before whatever is in there gets pissed off and comes
Yep.
at us.
Reed, roll
And
me a
just-
20-sider, please.
And now, like, kind of scraping it off my hand.
Wait, what did I miss?
Roll me a 20-sider, please.
I'm
He cut his
loose,
hand
Reed.
free.
Okay.
Okay. It's not as bad as before, but you're beginning to feel some burning in your forehead.
Yeah. Let's go. It's really starting to hurt.
Okay.
All right, let's.
So you go down to the second floor?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then what do you do?
Proceed to the first.
Okay. Then what do you do?
Pantry room again?
Into the pantry room? Where you have the...
Do we want to check downstairs?
Okay.
Do we want to check downstairs real quick? How do we want to work this?
Eldred says you said you wanted to, right?
What is my head telling me? Am I feeling pain down here at all?
It's dissipated once you got down past the second floor and down to the first floor.
Okay.
And Gaius is still fidgeting, just scraping the bits of crap off his hand.
Okay. Once it seemed to lose connection, it kind of turned almost like putty-ish. Kind of like an old rubber band that had dried up.
I guess reach around and pull out like empty vial that he had something in and just kind of like smear some of it in there.
Okay.
Cork it and flick the rest off and wash his hands.
Okay.
I have weird goo in a bottle. Okay, so we go to the basement and then there's a sub basement.
Right.
So I guess is anything in the basement look changed? A bunch of guards huddling in a corner, terrified. Hopefully,
You don't see anything from where you are at the bottom of the stairs.
Okay. Just do like a quick search of the basement and then head toward the entrance to the sub basement.
Okay. Okay. You see the stairway that is opened up that led down to that empty room there, and the weird door in the floor that looks like it belongs at the front of a house is still shut, but it doesn't look like it. It's not bolted or anything like it was when you originally found it.
So it's unlocked?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey guys, new thing here. Want to check it out?
We want to look in there?
Sure.
Yes.
Why not?
Okay, so you open it up and it's a stairway down. Stone.
Another set of stairs. Okay.
Oh.
The last time you were
Well,
here,
do you-
it was a stairway that went about 30 feet down. And then just ended in a flat landing with nothing around it. Just
Th-
three
This
walls
door
and
did?
the step. What?
This door did that?
Yeah. Yep. It
I
went
thought
about
we didn't
30
get in
feet.
this door.
It went about 30 feet down and was to a 10-foot kind of landing, 10-foot by 10-foot landing, with stone walls on all three sides.
It just ended. I thought you said it was bolted and closed and we couldn't get in there last time.
No. You had to unbolt it, but it opened
Oh,
up
we
fine.
had to unbolt it. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, we already went down there. Never mind. Close the door and re-engage the bolt, I guess.
Give me a perception check, please.
Okay, let me guess. There's no more bolt. 20.
20. Okay, you had opened it up and kind of had your torch or your light spell, whatever you're using that's lighting things
Yeah.
up. You could see down, and you didn't see the landing like you did last time. It just, the stairs look to keep going. But then you go and
Gotcha.
you shut it.
Okay, so the stairs might have continued. We'll deal with that later. I guess let's go check the body room real quick.
Was that the stairs on the right side or the big door-looking thing on the left?
I think it was the door in the top left, right? That was the sub-basement.
Correct. The
Paul?
sub-basement is the door in the top left.
Yep.
Okay. The stairs to the right of our tokens there is that's the one that went and like emptied outside
To
of
an
the
empty room.
Yeah, the one to your right of you, when you first went down, you didn't see anything there. Then another time you went down, the next day you went down, there, and it's still there. There's like a trap door that when it's shut blends in perfectly with the flooring.
Okay.
But it was opened up, and this just led down to a very old, dusty room that looked like ages ago it had a magic circle with like dead candle stubs and stuff like that in it.
Yeah.
And then the
Okay.
door in the middle looks like a door that should be on a front door.
Right.
And that was a set of stone steps that went about 20, 25 to 30 feet down, and then just ended in a 10-foot by 10-foot landing with, stone walls all the way around. And
Okay.
then all the way on the left is the one that led down to the sub-basement that you had gone down, where you had you thought there was something magical in there.
So as we go down, Paul, are there new fresh ones down there?
So you go down, and I'm not going to do it here because I don't have them available, but you go down about halfway, and there are like 5 new bodies, except they don't look fresh. They look withered and mummified and dried. They are not wearing any armor or insignias or anything like that. All of that is gone.
Okay.
They're in their undergarments, and all of their flesh is dried up and like a husk. And all the
Gotcha.
other bodies seem to have a very similar look to the skin, except these they don't look. They're not dusty like the other ones. These
Yeah.
are, but they still look like their skin almost looks like parchment. But they're just kind of like part way down the stairs, near the bottom, but like not taken all the way down like the original ones.
Okay.
Almost looks like they were just tossed.
Yeah.
Any indication that they might have been guards?
It's very possible. I mean, the hair that's on this parchment like dried skin that sucked it right up to their skeletons seems like the standard haircut you've seen guards have. That's the only thing they really, because they're kind of in their undergarments.
Guards
so I
have
don't know what
mullets.
else. What?
The guards
Yeah.
have mullets.
If you want them to be mullets, they have mullets.
Oh boy.
Okay, so I guess I'll go to the closest body, Paul.
Uh-huh.
Does it still have like a mouth and everything?
Yep.
All right. Gaius breaks out some incense, burns, wafts it around it, and casts Speak with the Dead.
Okay.
And then blows the incense into its nose and its mouth and down into its body.
Okay. How long can the person have been dead for?
The person can have been dead. Can be dead for. It doesn't specify. Like I can use it on anybody as long as they're
Okay.
actually able to communicate.
Okay.
The thing is, the spell will only last for 10 minutes,
Okay.
and I can ask up to 5 questions.
Okie dokie.
Those are my
You
limitations.
you do that, it takes a few moments, and then the parchment like skin seems to, it's almost like there's almost like a translucence of real like healthy skin, but you can tell it's just kind of an image over top of this sucked in husk, and you hear
Do
so
I need
it
to stab that?
Nope. This one's fine. It wouldn't have worked if it was a zombie. Turning to the corpse. Friend, who am I talking to? Smithers. Okay.
Away from Mr. Burns.
Yeah, and look how it went. What did this to you?
blue lady
Blue lady. Okay. How did she do it?
with a kiss.
With a kiss. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And don't make out with the blue lady. Gaius turns and looks at the other three. Hey, you guys got any? I got 2 more questions I can ask this gentle Smithers. And we got a who,
Um,
we got a what happened, we got how it happened.
Um, well,
I could do why they were here because we're assuming it's a guard, but we're not sure. If anyone's got a
okay,
question,
that's
just let me
fair.
know. Hey,
Trying to
Smithers,
think if anything I
why?
could think to ask is worth it.
Yeah, Smithers, why were you here?
The captain sent us to check out the house.
Okay, so they are guards. All right, these are the guard. Oh boy. All right. Well, we found the guards. This is good. This is bad.
Do we know that the blue lady is the same as uh, the Stradivarius that Bigglesworth was worried about, and maybe we should ask what the blue lady looked like?
Well, I have a question left.
It was just a
And the
suggestion.
thing.
Just if you have
Oh
something
yeah,
better,
no,
then
no.
by all means.
You know what? I guess we could get Smithers. Can you give me more details about the blue lady?
She was big, many arms and legs,
Okay.
strange yellow eyes, and a very large carapace.
Okay, so not actually a lady. All right. Giant spider lady.
It's the yep. We're all thinking the same thing, right?
Yeah, we're getting a kind of vibe here.
uh,
Smithers, you can rest now, my friend. I will do our best to avenge you. And then, with a gesture, kind of just seems to draw the incense out through the nose and mouth.
Okay, as you do that, Smithers, you just, as if it's blowing away on a soft breeze, you hear blue lady.
Well, okay. That settles it for me. Let's
We leaving?
get the F. Yeah, let's get the F out of here.
Okay.
GTFO.
Yep, well, I'm good. This settles it. Place is one of the worst places I've ever been.
Yeah.
Dear TripAdvisor.
Yeah.
No
Two
stars.
places. You
Smell?
Stradivarius house? No. Sewers? Hell no. So
All
yeah,
right.
making our way out of here, unless anyone
Okay, you're
disagrees.
up in the basement.
Going to the
Upstairs.
first floor.
Keep going. Keep going until we are out.
Eldred goes, we
I
don't
think
want
we're
to check
all-
anything else. That door?
Anyone?
What if we run into the blue lady? Yeah.
Well, hopefully, she sounds like she won't fit through that door. Hold on. 1 second. Open up the door.
Uh-huh.
Take out a torch, light it, put it down, cast light on one of the copper coins I have, and just huck it in down there.
Okay, roll me a to hit, please.
Okay. I will strike. Six.
Okay.
Okay.
Eh.
Nope.
Okay. Basically, I just need you not to roll a 1. Give me a strength check, please.
All right. A 9.
9? Okay. You huck it down, and it goes beyond 30 feet and then just continues to bounce down the stairs, continuing on.
Oh, shit. That's new. And then I close the door,
Okay.
lock the bolt, light my shield back up, and put out the torch and stow that. All right, time to leave.
Okay.
My curiosity has been sated. Also, we have a new way to go down places.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're at the first floor.
Yep.
Should we go back to
We
the dining
go.
room?
Yeah, we could go the circuitous way around, or we could just cut through the door from the kitchen right into the hall, the main hall. But you know what? Let's just follow our steps out. Let's not mess around with changing our pathing.
Okay.
Don't want to accidentally activate armor
we don't want
with
any of that
bodies shoved in.
Okay.
So yeah, we go from the storage room with the back stairs, to the kitchen, to the dining room,
Okay.
and then to the main hall. If something
Okay.
happens in that process, I guess just let us know.
Okay, everyone roll me a 20-sider real quick.
All right.
20 side. Nice.
I got a 2.
I have a 3. Come on, butt
Hang
trumpet.
on.
You or Eldred got to roll a 4 or a 1. I
Okay.
threw off the whole system.
You know,
Okay. So, you guys are so anxious to get out of there. This obviously has wigged you out a little bit. As you're getting out,
Mm-hmm.
Reed, you kind of go and trying to climb down. You slip, you fall face first out the door and take 3 points of damage from the fall.
This is going outside.
Yep.
Okay.
Gaius, you're going and just clatter down the front and take 5 points of damage. But Eldred and Butt Trumpet get out, no problem whatsoever. The 4 of you are standing there in front of the house, and that is where we're going to call this evening.
I glide gracefully down past Eldred's shoulders. Surfing.
Oh,
Eldred
my lower back.
Eldred just kind of does jazz hands to you there, Butt Trumpet, and smiles.
I landed on a halfling. Oh,
That hurt me too.
Actually, I think the halfling probably landed on you, Reed, on you guys because of the damage amounts.
Oh yeah, there you go. The halfling landed on me. Fuck.
Your nose really hurts.
Your your head hurt my spine.
Okay, everyone, thank you for joining us. We hope that you've enjoyed things next week. Cheryl will be able to join us again. And please remember that we air every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Twitch at Grognard and Friends, and that you can find all of our back episodes on YouTube, also at Grognard and Friends. So tune in next week. We hope to see you. Same Grognard time, same Grognard channel. And if you're watching us, or you're with friends or family, or with anybody, all we ask is, please, be kind.